Hey yo, it's really time. I'm feeling real mystical in this bitch. I'm feeling real mystical right now, y'all. Welcome to a special edition of the No Cooldown podcast, man. No Cooldown's back again. It is I, that man Tripp, the man with the bonnets, because I'm spending time with your auntie and she let me wear them. We're doing all right. Hey yo, listen, man, gotta do it, man. You gotta do it. She like it when I'm comfortable, man. She like it when I'm comfortable. All right, listen, we are here, and it's a very, very special edition. It's a spoiler cast for Doctor Strange, a Multiverse of Madness. This is going to be a good one today. I got some very special guests today, starting with, of course, my podcast partner in crime, one half of the No Cooldown podcast, WenEazy. Sir, how are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm chilling. That's it. I'm just chilling. It's a pretty solid day. Can't complain.
I don't feel that, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Middle of the week, we chilling. And of course, why we can't have no Marvel spoiler cast without a certain somebody from the fridge, man. We can't have it without Charles the Sauce, Thousand Island Sauce in the building, Taurus Gang in the building. Charles, what's going on? Say what's good to the people, man.
Gang. What's popping? Y'all know me. I don't need it.
Yeah. Talk that shit. Oh my goodness. Hey yo, hey, and last but certainly not least, we have a special guest on this special edition of No Cooldown, man. Coming all the way, you know what I'm saying, up and coming streamer. Y'all need to be on the lookout for this dude 100%. Please give a round of applause and a warm welcome to EMP Ninjas. Ninjas, what's going on, bro? How you feeling?
I feel good. I'm finally happy to be able to talk to all you guys together. Like, this is great. I really appreciate y'all. I'm an avid listener to No Cooldown podcast. I listen every Friday. Make sure y'all check them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to be here, to be honest.
Dang.
That's hard. In fact, I literally seen you tweet out. It was like the first podcast you're a part of, man. So listen, I am personally honored to have somebody like. This is a pause ahead of time, but pop the podcast cherry or whatever and break into the game right there. Shut up. I did it preemptively.
I'm not saying anything.
Shut your ass up. I'm just proud that we can have somebody, you know, have their first, you know what I'm saying, their first episode of a podcast, their first feature.
Time.
It feels like the very first. All right, listen, let me stop saying this. But you know, we're happy to have you, man. And again, for everybody that is listening in and is not like, you haven't seen Multiverse of Madness, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of here, skedaddle. But before you go, if you're listening to this on audio platform, rate this 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching the video version, like the video, drop a comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And besides that, get the hell out of here, bro. What you doing? Go watch the movie. Go in there. Go watch that movie and then come back to this and then we can break it down, talk, converse, and you'll have a good time and you can rate it 5 stars after again. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do. You know, it is what it is. I don't know how it works, but I think that's the general plan. So with that being said, there's a lot to cover. There's a lot of a movie that we just saw. Lots of things to, you know, get into, from the plot, the characters, some of the general moments and reactions. Where this might take us in terms of the MCU and the I guess the entire scope of Marvel right now in terms of the movie fashion. Earth being 616, the main one, they getting the confirmation stamp now. I mean, first and foremost, confirmed, man. So first and foremost, I just want to go to your general reactions of Multiverse of Madness as a film. How do you guys feel? And let's see. I'm gonna throw it to Charles first. How do you feel about Multiverse of Madness as a film?
Just know whatever I say positive, Wen is gonna have the opposite. But I thought that the film in and of itself was a great film. I thought the pacing was solid. The beginning of the movie, of course, you have new characters, so you kind of gotta have exposition. Of course, it slows the movie down just a smidgen. But once we got into the introduction of the characters, I thought the movie pretty much flowed the way it needed to flow, with certain character introductions, the way they introduce certain plots within the movie. I thought it was very well done. Like I thought it was a very good movie, and do you want me to give a number rating?
Not right now. We'll circle back to that towards the end. But just you know what I'm saying, it's off the top, general, the feeling, you know what I'm saying, a little oomph in your chest, you know? All right, cool, that's fair. Ninjas, how do you feel just generally about the Multiverse of Madness film. How you feel about it?
So I'm kind of on the well, okay, so I had like three separate feelings for the film after watching it and like kind of thinking about it. Basically when I first got into it watching the film, I feel like the moving pacing was a little off for me. It was moving fast and then it kind of like found this tempo like as the movie progressed. Um and then I enjoyed it. I want to say that I was watching a movie and I felt like I enjoyed it, and I felt like I was enjoying it because it was more so a Marvel film, more so than actually enjoying the film for what it was. So as I kept thinking about it, I'm like, I think the movie was good, but I was expecting that feeling of what I felt for watching like a movie like No Way Home, coming off of that. And I feel like Multiverse of Madness really just kind of it was good. It was really good, but it was missing like that feeling of like I don't know, it's like either urgency or like, that I don't know, it was something missing for me. But overall, I kind of liked the film. It was pretty good. I can't wait to get into it really.
All right. Off general reaction. Cool. When I see you grimacing from now, what's going on?
That man
I see him
smirking, boy.
grimace.
That man smirking, boy.
I don't know, man. It sounds like Nick just has a good. He has a good head on his shoulders. I really like where this. I like the kind of So, I actually, so with the pacing, I agree with Charles. I think the pacing was actually perfect for a Marvel film. And like I'm gonna keep calling the Marvel films because I see these movies and other movies kind of different. Um, I thought like it started off fast, slowed down a bit, but it wasn't really like a sprint. It was more of a marathon. So like that's was a good thing and a bad thing though, because like you're not really ever really bored, but you also like I don't really ever feel a sense of urgency because like it's kind of always been at this fast pace. Um, I thought the movie was alright. Like that's the most I can give. Like it just I feel it in my chest. It was pretty solid. It was okay. Like it wasn't anything crazy. I have my reasons as to why I didn't think it was like the best Marvel could have done. And I also want to preface this. I'm a huge uh Doctor Strange fan, and that's why I'm so critical of this movie because I love the character. But the way I felt about this movie was it was good, but it could have been better. Like that's what I felt about a lot of the things that like I quote unquote didn't like, where I felt like were wrong. Where I was just like, this was solid, but like this could have been better to me.
Yeah. No.
I'm
You're
mad
not
at that. I'm
wrong.
not about that.
You're not wrong. But personally, I actually enjoyed the movie very much for what it was on the screen. And I feel like it also was down to the fact that at some point beforehand, I want to say like a good 2 months before, I just stopped watching all the trailers and I stopped watching all like the little cuts and snippets and whatnot.
Yes.
Like I just completely cut that off. And shout out to my boy Shanko because he's been doing this for like years. And I was like, I'm a whore, so I need to I wanted to be on top of all the little like trailers and stuff like that and all this stuff. But ever since I like kind of scaled it back, especially for this movie, this is the first one I did it for. I was like, yo, thank goodness, because it fully prepped me to just absorb the movie for what it was and not to anticipate, okay, what about this? What about that? Of course, your mind can speculate as a Marvel fan, but just to absorb what it actually is instead of, oh, this was a leak. This is definitely going to be in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, whatever. Coming into it from that standpoint, I really, really enjoyed the film. For me, I actually really, really enjoyed the pacing. There weren't too many dry spots in the film, which I really enjoyed. They started on like 120 miles per hour, which I was like, that's perfect. Just to get me zoned in, get me locked in, because I feel like a lot of the movies, especially in the Marvel tent, sometimes like start off a little bit slow. You know what I'm saying? Of course, there's like some, probably some origin points. You just like certain things you need to know that provide context for the rest of the story, but like it's not as fast paced as what a Sam Raimi film like that was. Like it just off the rip in your face, and I like that kind of smack in the nose, but hey, yo, bro, pay attention, listen up. And I really did like that. So for me in general, go ahead. Shoot.
No, go. No, I was gonna say I did the same thing you did for this movie specifically. In regards to, I watched the first trailer and then nothing else from that point, like cold turkey. Because usually I am a whore for Marvel content.
Yeah.
But for something told me for this movie, it was going to be different. Like something told me, it screamed to me that this movie was going to be like something we haven't seen in the MCU, and it was. So like I'm very glad that I did not spoil myself by having too many um preconceived notions about the movie through
Yeah.
watching the trailers and whatnot. So I
Mhm.
agree with you 100% sure. Going in just with an open mind, I thought this was a great movie.
Yeah. I I I was really actually surprised by the direction in general, just how it felt. It felt different. It felt, of course, there's
Yeah.
obvious points that
Yeah.
made it feel different, but again, I just felt, again, the pacing mixed with some of the lines and just some of the performances all meshed in the same pot. It felt different to the usual formula that it was Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was still, of course, Marvel elements. Like, of course, obviously going to be certain things that just stay true to the MCU beats and what's been established so far. But some parts of it just felt like, hey, listen, this is like a step to the left. Like, we're gonna try and do some other stuff with this, with the plot and how stuff was and how it's moving. So I pretty much enjoyed a lot of it, man. I really did. But with that being said, I want to start. Let's start with the plot. Let's start with the story. Let's start with how the actual progression of this narrative went, where it started, where it ended, what it left off, what might have been missing. I want to speak generally to it, but of course, since we can spoil the cast, boy, we can start it off. You know what I'm saying? We started off with a bang, man. We started off right there, like this gap dimension or whatever you want to call it. Shit was broken off already because of the multiverse. Started off with a variant of Doctor Strange. I forget which dimension or universe he said he came from, but started off with him and America Chavez. They were running from some rune monster and 1,000 miles an hour trying to get to the Book of Ashanti. You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised Ja Rule wasn't with the Book of Ashanti, but it's all good. And then somehow it just I gotta get one off right now. You gotta get off the rip. Gotta get off the rip, son. For real.
All I know is that book is 1 in a million. I know that's Aaliyah, but
yeah.
I'm about to listen. I'm about to make that meme. I'm making the meme right after this stream. Ja Rule about to be Doctor Strange.
Oh my goodness, that's stupid, bro.
I got y'all.
He got the book. What I mean with my baby?
Yeah, I'm about to make the meme.
Wow, but no, it started off with a really, really solid bang. Again, it just set up all this stuff, and then you see Doctor Strange trying to absorb America, saying it's the only way. Like that narrative of him having to always be in control and like directing the next step to solve a conflict that be getting him in some shit, and it kind of landed us right into the dream sequence, and of course you start to see everything else unfold. Get to some of the sections about him trying to figure out what's going on in his dream. You see the wedding sequence, and he sees the monster, like Gargantos or something like that. Then he fights them, ends up with Wong. It progresses into the parts where you see Wanda and a whole bunch of stuff. It's a lot to explain, but in general, how do y'all feel about the plot of the story? And we'll kind of rotate around. We'll start with Ninjas.
Okay, so for the plot for me, I like the idea of, just going through the multiverse with America, basically just, trying to help her stop. I don't want to get too far because I know you're trying to talk about all the points, but like, trying to stop her from like, getting pursued by the villain and everything, and helping her, overall just trying to get control of her powers and whatnot, just to travel through the multiverse and whatnot. I like that aspect of Doctor Strange, the whole premise of like, are you happy? Underlying problems with him coming into this movie and whatnot. The only thing that I just didn't disagree, like, I guess one of the better points of the film in the plot is Wanda's part in it, and how they basically use the trailers. Like, because I was going to point this up, but I was one of the ones who watched all the trailers damn near, and they did a great job of marketing, who was the real antagonist for this movie. And Wanda's part in this movie is like really carries the film. I felt like this was more of a Wanda, Scarlet Witch film than it was a Doctor Strange film, and that's where what it plays into the plot, because I feel like they could have played into more with Strange basically being like, talked about as a villain and his variants, and they could have delved deeper into that, just kind of playing into that. Also giving America more, showtime with the plot, just kind of showing like, where she's been, like outside of just like the glimpses we saw, like them traveling in that instance through the multiverse, trying to escape. That's more so my gripes, and then we gonna get to it, but I don't like how they did the Illuminati.
We gonna get into that one. We gonna get into that when we talk about it, man. But the plot, let's throw it to Wen. What's going on? How you feel about the plot points and just the plot progression of Multiverse of Madness?
Like
The rub of the face.
I'm just trying to
Where do I
formulate my
start?
thoughts. Like, to what Ninja said, yo, like, honestly, it feels like every time I see Doctor Strange in a movie, it's like he's like holding the Marvel franchise by the hand. He's like, all right, now let's get us to the next part. Like, I just don't even like, I really don't even feel like I these are important plots for Doctor Strange to be a part of, I guess. I don't know if they're trying to make him the new Tony Stark. I don't really understand. Like this man is like almost in everything, and he's like, he's hooked up with everybody now. He's just going all around the Avengers, being like, "Yo, you need help? Yo, yeah, I'm here, bro. I'm the new guy or whatever." But it's just like I went into this as a Doctor Strange like fan. Like I'm really wanted to see. Like I'm like, this is a Doctor Strange movie, but it kind of wasn't. It was kind of like a trio thing, and they used his name because it was like the bigger one. And I'm not upset about that. Well, I'm not completely upset about that. Like it's just. It was just like it became like it was a Wanda Chavez Doctor Strange like trio. Like that's just what the movie was about. For the plot overall though, I think it's very interesting. I kind of wish they showed more of the corruption of Wanda. I feel like that could have been. I think the thing is, I just never really finished the show. Like I didn't finish. I didn't finish the show. So listen. Hey, this could be on me. I'm sorry I didn't watch 6 hours of content to watch 2 more hours of content. Unserious Marvel fan, this guy. But even showing like, but even showing more like, because they're like, yo, this shit corrupts you, and I'm like, bro, she looks the same. Like she looks like the same shot. She just got the crown on. Like it's an outfit change to me. But like I don't know. I feel like the costumes could have just been a little bit darker or whatever, because she was out here murdering motherfuckers. Like, but not even just like regular murder. It was like nonchalant murder. It was very casual,
which is crazy.
Yo, you know what I'm
so
saying? Like
wild.
aloof murder.
Yeah.
Like, you would look at motherfuckers and then just vaporize them and then be like, all right,
bro,
cool. Like not even
on to the next one
about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
we gotta remember this is Disney.
Yeah,
This is
like
Disney.
yeah. And it's
Disney, bro. Disney was different. Disney was acting different this movie. They was acting different.
bro. They actually they let him talk, Charles, but no, they let him push the envelope. Explain it, yeah, please.
They pushed the envelope. I think this is the first time that we've legit seen blood, like a gory blood scene in regards the start of the movie.
Really, yeah.
The start of the movie. Defender Strange, that's what they call him. Got stabbed through the leg. I don't think we've seen anything like that brutal.
Yeah, and the chest.
In the chest in a Disney movie, and they show somebody die in that moment. I want to say that's like the first time, besides like Odin, but like Odin didn't really die in any vicious way.
Just passed.
Passed, right. This is the first time we see somebody murdered.
Yeah.
And not only by not just murdered by a seeming hero that was a hero. This is her fall from her hero arc, but I think that so I didn't watch the trailers, so I watched one. So, but to me, I don't think that personally, I didn't see Wanda being the villain in this movie, because the first trailer that I saw is that you see Doctor Strange saying, "I need your help." That's what he says. I need your help. And then we go to see Wanda destroy everything to shit, like with no hesitancy. And so I think that they did a very good job of hiding the antagonist.
Yeah,
I didn't watch
facts.
The trailer, so I don't know if they spoiled it within there.
Hey, no, the trailers, they did really good with the marketing of there was like you couldn't tell it really felt like in the trailers that it was going to be a variant of Doctor Strange, who was going to be a villain to me.
Yes,
Yeah.
1,000%. I when I watched the first trailer, I thought it was going to be the evil Strange that we saw in the What If series. Because I want to say in the trailer we saw more Strange visiting the wedding of whatever
the
her
one
name
chick.
is. The one
Christine.
chick, right? We see him go to the wedding. Christine, there we go. So in my mind, I'm thinking that this evil Strange comes to our universe to try to steal Christine, but they flipped it on us like completely. But as far as the plot goes, I'll answer the question. As far as the plot goes, I think that they did it very well. I don't think this was necessarily a Wanda movie. Don't get me wrong, she stole the show in regards to her aggression and her destruction. But in terms of who this movie focuses on, I think they do a very good job of identifying Strange's weak points and also his strong points. And they just make him to be a stronger character, in my opinion.
Mm.
Of course, this is the second movie. The first movie we get his backstory exposition, but I think this movie solidifies who Strange is as a character in the comics, but also in the MCU. So that's just me. I
Mhm.
think the plot was great, and I think they did great in elevating not only Wanda as a character, but Strange. I don't think they did America Chavez any justice, to be honest. Like she
No.
was just
Nah, they
there.
didn't.
She was just there.
They,
Yeah,
yeah, they
she
really
could have dealt
just
with some
used
more
her for the.
screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just kind of used her for her
Mhm.
powers
Had
really to.
had the movie started prior to that, them being chased by the monster, and we see, of course, you got to give the whole twist as to, oh, that's how she activated her power. Sure, whatever. But if we explain who she is prior to the scene in which they're being chased, I think that we have more, of course, screen time for America to, but also just to introduce her into this story rather than just throw her in there. So
Yeah.
that's what I think.
I understand how they tried to make her integral, and of course she was integral to how the plot progressed because again her powers were needed for multiversal travel or solidifying certain multiversal things with the nature of her powers and all stuff like that. I understand that. I felt like they could have been used a little bit more to kind of just like she could have had more screen time to solidify her story in her place. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a real rare case to be like an anomaly in like multiversal, in multiversal setups and shit. So it would have been nice to kind of get that type of, I guess that type of that more exposition than just like the little snippet of like the parents and seeing how like they got warped or what I'm saying and how shit got lost.
Right.
I would have liked a little bit more. Maybe it's in an extended cut. I don't know, but in this cut we can only judge it off this. I feel like there could have been more in the pressure cooker for. Honestly, I'm
Right. Yeah.
that's
Because
what I
like
personally feel.
don't get me wrong, like once we get the reasoning about like how her powers are activated through fear, we understand that because she's traumatized because she feels like she killed her parents. So that explains why she's just not able to freely control her powers. But at the same time, it's like, how many times are we going to get this? Like, oh, I'm afraid of my powers, so I don't know how to control it. Like,
Mhm.
come on, like
Yeah.
it's got to be something else. Like, we got to get creative on how to introduce people and how they grow in their power development. Like, just being fearful it's getting dry, and that
Mhm.
was like, all right, come on.
I
all
mean,
right.
for her, for her sense, I can understand it because I mean, listen, her.
It's fair.
I can understand for her case, kind of. It's like, okay, listen, it's activated. You don't know how it's activated. You've kind of been just warping whatever your entire time. You know what I'm saying? You've been warping your entire life, basically trying to figure out what's going on. So it's kind of operating out of a place of unknowns and potential fear of the unknown. But again, in the movie, again, Strange explains it. Yo, you knew exactly what you're doing, kind of like all along. Like it's like Michael Secret stuff in Space Jam. Like, bro, like nigga, you knew it, bro. You knew what was going on. Like, there's no secret.
Hey, I
There's no
don't
secret
like
stuff.
I'm
like I don't
like that.
I don't necessarily mind it, but I'm like that. I think that could have been a little bit more flushed out into a stronger link into how she gets to control her powers. Honestly,
Yes.
but yeah, go ahead, Ninja.
But oh, I was about to say, to tag along to that point, I feel like I agree with y'all wholeheartedly about it because if you really think about America in this movie, I feel like we could really like take her moments out of the movie because how insignificant they are to me. You could take her parts out and just say they're traveling through the multiverse with the book more than anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's
you could have made it. You could have made her a spell.
they didn't. Yeah, I was about to say it could have been the spell. It could have been anything. It could have been like just a rift that just came into like New York City, and then Doctor Strange is trying to figure out what's going on, and then everything would have kept progressing. That's why I was felt like it was like really weak on their part.
Yeah,
on America because it was like so insignificant to what happened to the story, and I feel like she did deserve at least. I feel like if we'd have that's why I'm saying the pacing was like weird for me because in the start it did start off fast paced into the movie and everything, but they didn't do justice to like introducing her character into it. I feel like I would have took a slower paced introduction to like America to like kick it off, like, you know, introducing her character, you know, mom, like her two moms scene and everything, doing a little bit of stuff like showing her travel a little bit through time, and then get to the point to where she's with Strange in that chase scene to that. I feel like that would have been a better transition because I feel like the movie was just trying to start something that needed to, you know, be explained a little bit more just because they're trying to get that multiverse of madness feeling going. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. Would you have accepted the same kind of start, the same pacing start, but then at some point a little bit down, maybe after that first fight scene with Gargantos, it does a little snap back to how she started and blah blah blah, and kind of brings that rough trail back to the beginning of the movie, and then it works back. Would you like that kind of like a flashback? Would that have been acceptable, or would you want something else?
I think she really just does, like, I feel like Marvel characters, if we're going to build this whole cinematic universe, everybody's not going to get a movie. So
100%.
we got to share movies between characters. She needs to be introduced, like, structured, like she needed her foundation right, and her foundation was right. I feel like a flashback could work to, you know, keep the fast pacedness, but again, I agree that, I mean, I wholeheartedly believe the slow pace, bring her in and then hit you fast. I feel like that would have executed her story a lot better for her to have solidify her spot in the movie.
Yeah.
Fair.
So,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. So
okay.
So the way I see, my bad. So just real quick, the way I see it, I don't mind multiple flashbacks. Just personally, I think that we start the movie with her, porting her parents out somewhere, and then we cut to a chase scene, because just seeing that, we're like, what the hell? And then if we fast forward to the chase scene, it's like, what the hell happened between that time? Because her stepping onto the memory stone randomly doesn't add. It's just there. It doesn't add anything. It's just like, oh, we got a random memory for our flashback, whereas you could have given us this, and then we would have been more satisfied. Well, I would have been more satisfied had we got her porting her parents out in the beginning, and then we go to the chase scene, and then once she steps on it, we get another flashback into like how she ported. Like, if we didn't see the B initially, I would have been okay with that. Like, had we not seen America at all in the first scene, and they just port her parents out randomly, I think that's a great way to say, pay attention. Just pay attention.
No, that's fair.
Like, instead of just spoon feeding it, just pay attention. And that's what I would have preferred. Just them being sent to another dimension, and then go to the America Chavez scene with the chase scene.
When I see you smiling, what's going on with that?
Spoon feeding is actually my biggest problem with this entire film, and that's why I don't think that it's that good of a film, because I felt the whole time I was watching, I'm like, yo, bro, I connected these dots. So you don't gotta give me the answer to the question. And the reason, and like one of the biggest examples that I can think of is like, not to fast forward too far, but like, for example, shit like walking down the street, oh, memory lane, yeah, let me just play your most private memories in front of everybody, because that's, everybody knows in this society, everybody knows that you can't step on this random ass circle, right? Like in the middle of the street. It's just, it's stupid. And I feel like motherfuckers was just like, yo, how do we work this in? It's like, fuck it, who cares? And it's like, cool, but when you do too many fuck it, who cares, we see them. So like one of the biggest things, not to jump too far ahead, but when my boy Professor X is, you know, turns into Steve Jobs inside of Wanda's mind, when he's sitting there and he's sitting there like, whoa, there's rubble around here, and then like he sees her under the rubble, and she's like, she's in this rubble. The scene is basically, he walks in her mind. You see Wanda under a rubble, and he's like, Wanda, maybe if I get you out of here, we can break this curse. He says shit like, I don't know if it's verbatim what I just said, but basically that's,
I know what you're saying. Like, to free you. He's like,
out of here,
I can free you. Yeah.
Motherfucker, you could have just tried to free her, and we would have got it. Like, we would have understood. Like, it's not hard.
It's crazy.
And
I see what you're saying.
Just like, that was a lot of my issues with this movie, is that a lot of shit just felt like
spoon fed.
It's like you guys wanted to make a Marvel movie for more adult audience by adding like fucking eyeballs getting yanked out of fucking aliens, but then like you guys are still needing to explain shit to the little kids in the audience.
Facts.
Like
as it's happening, it's like doing two different directions at the same time, like a little bit overextension. I can agree with that. In some points, it's just like, yo, they made it super clear, like, oh, I gotta do this one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just certain things that didn't need to be explained, that were just, you know, they did put it out plain text, like they were captioning over it themselves. I'm like, at the same time they were acting, and I'm like, okay, that part I didn't really pay much attention to because I'm like over other things. But looking back at it, I can definitely see where this part's just like, yo, just spoon fed, and it felt like it didn't need to be. It's a little bit superfluous. Some parts that are just a little bit superfluous, which is it's understandable. It's understandable. But yeah, I can understand that. I can understand that. Now, getting to the middle part of the movie, I just want to talk. Let's talk about this next section. So, from the point where Wanda is now being made out, she's been found out. You know what I'm saying? We get to that scene in the orchard. She just chilling and stuff like that. Yeah. What about America and stuff? I ain't say shit about America, bro. Listen, it didn't catch my ear at first. I'm not even gonna lie. Until Strange said something in that scene, I had no clue. It just kind of like whizzed by my ear. I was like, yeah, okay, America. Yeah. She was like, I didn't say anything about America. I was like,
what?
Ain't no way, nigga. Ain't no way.
Once this man said, it smells real, I was like, oh, fuck. I was like,
bro,
oh, fuck, he knows. And like,
it hurts, bro. It hurt.
So you're telling me you knew this entire time what Wanda did? You knew that you were walking into
a trap. Necessarily, I was like,
like, I don't understand his
but
logic in going.
But I feel like that's the sense of it, though. It's like, okay, she's isolated. She's not hurting anybody, so he's gonna leave her to her own devices and not meddle with it and stuff. I understand that from a point of like, okay, he's leaving it alone.
But
and
you knew what she did.
Yeah, he knew about Westview. Oh, he was trying to get her out of Westview. He knew about that, and I'm not sure he knew about the Darkhold as of yet. I think in that scene when she revealed the Darkhold and stuff, when she revealed what it actually was, he was like, "Oh shit, the Darkhold. That's not good. We gotta run." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure that's when he figured it. Like, he put two and two together fully about what was going on and how powerful she got. But from beforehand, it's like, okay, listen. I feel like Strange deals in, listen, if it's not causing direct harm to the city and killing niggas right now, it's not my problem. So he kind of left it on the back burner. It's like, yo, listen, she's going that way, whatever. Let's call a spade a spade. I know where she's at. We can go reach out to her in that sense. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's fine. You know, I understand Strange's rationale in that point, but it comes back to bite him in the ass in a massive way. It like literally in the text. Like, I saw a video like just reminding everybody about it. It's like at the end of WandaVision. Sorry for spoilers when it's too late. I'm about to say what for Wanda?
I've watched a YouTube guy yell at me about it. Like, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I know about the show. Like, I understand why she got the book or whatever, and she fucking killed the one.
Agatha.
That bitch. Yeah, I know all that.
okay. Yeah, and I was like, so the fact that in that show, Agatha was talking about how the Scarlet Witch will become more powerful than Sorcerer Supreme because she's using all this dark magic in addition to her own raw powers, like a Nexus being and shit.
Yes.
Doubled down with everything. I was like, holy shit, this man does not know how fucked he is. He has no idea.
Right. It's knew rough from jump though. Like,
he knew as soon as it hit him, he knew. But from beforehand,
he knew, bro. As soon as he knew that it was an illusion, why are you still there? Why are you still there?
Because he thinks he can reason. Listen, but that's also a hallmark of Doctor Strange, bro. He tries to look for a way himself. He's gonna keep talking. He's gonna keep doing things to try and find a way out until there's possibly no other way out, and it's assed out. That's just a part of him, bro.
So,
bro,
please win.
The funny thing about it is just like, honestly, the relationship between Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch is just interesting in and of itself. Because at the point when they both were on the Avengers are so big, the motherfuckers was kind of just like acquaintances. Like, they just
facts. They didn't talk. They didn't even talk like that.
I would, if I was Doctor Strange, I wouldn't be sitting there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
I'm not like we cordial, but I can't convince you not to kill people for your undead kids or they're not real kids or whatever the fuck. You know, like that's not my place. I'm more so on the lines of like, hey, maybe you should talk to Tony about this type of thing. Like that's really where I felt like they
Facts.
stood up.
Say to niggas that know you.
You know what I'm saying?
Word
Like, man,
on everything, bro. Literally,
you know.
literally.
but
Like,
like,
go ahead, Win. My bad.
no, what I was gonna say is like to the point that Charles was saying, where it was like he knew what was going on in Westview, but he wasn't doing anything. Comic book Strange, from my understanding, because I haven't read all the comic books, but like in newer ones, he always talks about how like he's dealing with like life-ending disasters in other realms. So like, yeah. So I was just like, okay, maybe he didn't do anything in Westview or even in a lot of movies. He's like one of the few people who I can see not showing up to shit because he's like, oh, my bad, bro. I was in hell. I was trying to get back here. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they don't really show a lot of that. And that's why when I heard Doctor Strange 2, I'm like, oh, we're going to hell. It's going to be sick. But it's like, nah, it's like Doctor Strange 2, America Boogaloo. Like, that's kind of what it felt.
I feel that, and that's a tough hallmark of Doctor Strange in the MCU, bro. That's gonna be a tough albatross around your neck, bro. It's like, yo, you as a mystical being and being the foremost mystical being that MCU people know, you have to be the bearer for so many different lanes of mysticism, dark magic, different dimensions, because a magic is tied to so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think naturally it's
him. It wasn't even him though.
You know what?
It was Wong.
You're not wrong.
And it's Wong's fault. It's Wong's fault again.
You know what? Because Wong mind his business. Wong mind his damn business. He try to keep stuff contained. That's different. That's different.
That's the problem, though. That's the problem. That's the reason Westview happened, because he was minding his goddamn business.
Now that you bring this
also
up,
not wrong.
Now that you bring this up, actually, that kind of exonerates Strange, because Westview wouldn't have been a Strange problem. It would have been a Wong problem.
That is And you know what? And again, on top of that, they said in the show that all the little commercials and stuff that were part of it, that was Doctor Strange trying to send signals to Wanda, like, hey, yo, this is an illusion. Get the hell out of here. What is this? Like little like tickers and markers, like the watch commercials and the soap commercials and stuff like that. That was Strange. So he did try to help. I'm not even gonna lie.
Wait. They said that was Strange?
I'm pretty sure people said that was Strange. He was trying to send signals to Wanda, like trying to reach her within the Nexus, like her whole shit that she set up in Westview. I'm pretty sure that's what they said.
Hold on. Let me.
I need some sources. Hold on.
No, bro.
Let me go ahead and piggyback in before y'all.
Go ahead.
Because I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. While I look this up, go ahead.
I want to be devil's advocate a little bit. I want to say that Strange actually really did not know about Wanda and how far Wanda has gone, because I don't think in any capacity, like y'all say, like Wynn pointed out, Strange does with strange problems. Like Strange does his own thing, and at the end of the day, he's not Sorcerer Supreme. And with Wong being that, I think Wong would have knew before anything. And to counteract that, I want to say too, as much as we think like Strange is like this, like is really strong, like he's strong in the comic books and everything, but right now how Strange is introduced into like the MCU and the movies and everything, I feel like he's been leveling up, but I feel like he's not quite there yet to be, at his peak. I want to argue that, because he's because in the first movie he's like, he's learning really quickly, but he was still like, when he's messing around with the eye and everything and still doing everything, he's like, okay, it's still stuff I need to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And again, the book was missing. The book was missing from the library anyway, so he had no knowledge of where the dark hole was originally. So he had no idea the extent of how deep it went. Also true.
This is a Wong fucking issue. Because Wong knew what the book was. He's a Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
He had, oh my god.
I mean, I don't think he knew where the book was, because Agatha had it. So like it was stolen. That's also his fault. Well, somebody's fault. I don't know, because it was gone before. Somebody's fault. But I'm saying it probably should have been Wong's responsibility to try and track it down, see what was popping with it before it really went off. But that's another topic for another day, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like it's wild. What went wrong? But yeah, all right. But pushing forward just a little bit, man. The whole scene with. This is me being reasonable, bro. The whole scene at Camertage, her, like, them strapping up, and the entire breakdown of her going half strength and absolutely murking the entire congregation of sorcerers from all over the world. They have people from ends. They have people from South London come all the way here to get rocked. They have people from Hong Kong, you know what I'm saying, pulling up to get rocked. That part, that was crazy, especially the scene when they were inside the fortress itself. That was some of the best, like, suspense moments ever in MCU, in my opinion. Like, some of the best suspenseful moments. Like, that was serious.
Who is still signing up to be a sorcerer at this point? Because it's the second time they've all gotten wiped out. Like,
on everything.
Who's still signing up for this shit? Like, everybody keeps
Not
dying
me.
consistently.
Not me. I tell you that, bro. Listen, bro, I seen y'all resume. I saw what happened. Why is there only 7 of y'all, bro? Y'all in like 3 cities. Why is there only 7? You know what I'm saying? That number seemed a little bit low.
Gotta be crazy.
Facts.
Like,
what's y'all turnover, bro?
Is insane.
Word, bro. What's y'all turnover rates?
Bro,
I need to see what's going on. What's happening?
Bro, I need to read the 360 contract, bro.
Word, bro.
What's going on there, bro?
My man turned it.
They came
I'm about
in
to
with
say
that sign-in bonus. That sign-in bonus was crazy.
Freaking S Diddy, bro. I'm about to say welcome to Bad Boy Sorcerers, man.
You seen
I need you to find me a midget with a magic book.
No. I need you to go up to the Bronx and go find a unicorn with an amulet and bring it to me. Nah, that joint crazy, bro.
Oh, is that one? Take that.
And take that.
I'm dead. But she was 1,000% being very much so reasonable. Like, given what we saw towards the end of the movie, she was very much so being very, 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 very reasonable.
Yeah.
Very reasonable. Because had I been Wanda, there's no bring me the girl. I'm just gonna go get her and wipe you all out. Granted, y'all made me do that in the first place, but I'm not even talking to you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm getting what I want.
That's a fair point, bro.
That's a fair discussion.
Fair point, man.
I'm surprised. I was about to say, I'm surprised that she didn't bring any like posse with her. Like, you know how she sent the original monster to chase after them. I'm surprised she didn't send her like, little minions to go first.
She did. Bro,
I know she didn't, but that would have been crazy.
Nah, that wasn't even. That was how serious she was on it. That was how serious she was. Yo, that's how she rolled though. She rolled dolo. She pull up with the whole. She was in the air. The whole squad saw her. The whole camp saw her just by herself. Like, yeah, I know it's about to be some shit, right? They sit in defensive position for like 10 minutes, and they went to defensive positions while they was talking. It wasn't even no action. They said, "Oh nah, son, we ain't on this. We ain't on this type of time, bro. Hold it. Hey, this ain't for me." On with just herself in there. That's crazy. I am thoroughly surprised by how serious they took that shift as she became a Scarlet Witch and as she became corrupted by the Darkhold. And again, this scene,
she got powered up. Up for sure.
Honestly, I think that scene within the temple in Camartage when niggas was getting pulled in the water reflections and getting grabbed from every which angle, that was top 3. That was one of the top 3 favorite scenes from this film, hands down. Just the suspense and the one, suspense and horror. The 2, the quickness and power that Scarlet Witch showed. Like, yo, whatever magic and mysticism that you set up, she's not even a trained witch or sorcerer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she learning shit on the job. She doing on the job experience work. This is like her like 6 months in.
Strange. I was about to say that's why I said Strange not really where he need to be at yet. Because like how she came through and just like she just had the book for so long and she just ran through him like that. Strange was like cool for like up until this point, but he really got like humble.
Bro, but and again, also with the words of WandaVision, the Scarlet Witch is gonna be more powerful than even the Sorcerer Supreme. Well, it's Wong, but still, even at that point, Strange probably more better than Wong, but still, it's a gap, and it's like overestimation or lack of knowledge about what's going down. And because listen, Wanda's base power that was already enough to crack a Mind Stone and drop off her own hubby. You know what I'm saying? That. Plus whatever she learned about runes and basic witchcraft from Agatha Harkness, plus the power of the entire Darkhold that she became corrupted by. Ridiculous amounts of energy and power off the rip. You know what I'm saying? You should be doing the mental math.
In the universe.
You know what I'm saying? You should be doing. You should be running calculations in your head like, hey, how long can we last before we need to get the fuck up out of here, bro? Let's run the numbers. Go ahead, Wen.
Yes.
What's really funny about this scene was like two things. One, I don't know why they have so many random puddles on the floor. Didn't make sense to me.
Also true.
I just feel I just feel like they got mops. Like mops.
Yeah, was it raining, my nigga?
You got a leaky roof.
Who left y'all house dirty like this?
I know how much roof goes.
The Fantasia, the dancing mops.
Oh, the dancing mops, bro. Why can't y'all run too? Why can't they hit the Dougie over there, bro, and just clean that up real quick, bro? So get it out. The hell, bro.
Second thing, the one part that I think is, and it's probably still my favorite part about the whole movie, was like, I really wanted Doctor Strange to really like dig in deep with the whole them kids were never real shit. Because when he was like,
bro,
yo, Wanda, those kids were not real. Like I thought that was the funniest shit in the world.
Yo.
No, you're wilding.
No, I would have told her, bro. If I was Doctor Strange, I would have been talking cash money shit, bro. Because
Facts.
That's fine, bro. I would have been the best extra, bro. Oh my god, I wish you would have casted me in there and been like, damn, those kids weren't real, and it's just like they were real to me, and I'm like, and you're crazy.
Hey, yo, it's the whole defensive position. It's the whole defensive position. It's like 80 sorcerers, and then you just hear one voice from the corner. They weren't real, girl. Shut your ass up.
Like
crazy. This here crazy ass.
I knew it.
That's Illuminati.
It's would it be crazy? We need the voice also to say, and we go jump.
Facts.
And we go jump.
On everything, bro.
Imagine telling an angry woman that has reality working powers that her kids are not real. You are insane. What?
Nah, I love that cat. Yo, that was like the moment I was like, this is my Doctor Strange right here. You let her know, bud.
You have the blind audacity. You have the blind audacity to tell her that's not real. That's some Doctor Strange shit right there, boy. That's some Doctor Strange. He's not wrong. He's not wrong, man. Bro. But yeah, I tell you, bro, that entire dynamic throughout the scene, I was like, yo, one show just out of raw power and just like her short time getting hold of the dark hole and see what's going on. She was able to get through the mirror dimension like that and start yamming. Excuse me, America dumbass looking in the puddles like, I wonder where she could be. Bitch, cover him up. Cover the puddles up. She was also bugging at that part.
I just want to know that Doctor Strange is 0-2 with the mirror dimension.
He's literally 0-2. He's 0-2 with the mirror dimension. And that's like his trump card, bro.
Spider-Man beat it with math.
No Way Home.
And then she beat it with witchcraft.
Did he not use it in the first movie?
Did he use it in the first movie?
Or was that the other?
I know they were in there. I don't know.
He did use it. He did use it. He got watched in there too because they was
0-3.
No, man.
So he's 0-3.
This wouldn't happen in the comic books.
No, and that's crazy. I want to say that. In the comic
on everything,
books,
bro.
Where he's his most powerful is in the mirror dimension. So now the movies are like, this is useless,
bro. They use that as an OD stepping stone, bro. They is like, man, all right, let's just make sure they know that these niggas powerful as hell and just get through its flick and they're back in, bro. I'll tell you this.
Why is he even using it?
I had no idea. To hold her off. Hey, listen, if we use the mirror dimension, we can hold her off for a whole 45 seconds. Let's make it happen. Like what, nigga?
And then it got turned into a weapon, bro. It got used against. That's the crazy
thing.
It got used against him, bro.
Bro, that first person got yammed so quick from straight stand. And the funniest thing is, they were standing square in a puddle. Why is your nasty ass square like standing square in wet water like water like that, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, why couldn't you be on? You got socks and shoes on. Why are you standing in the puddle like that inside?
Hey, bro,
that's weird.
They're magic shoes, bro. They don't get wet, bro.
I got a petition. I need them to go through we need the elementary school of magic to go through cleaning magic because we need more convenience magic in these films because they wasn't keeping up. The roof leaking. You know what I'm saying? The puddles everywhere. Where's the magic to dry up the puddles real quick?
On everything.
Overheat spell over the puddle. Because they talk about throwing clothes. They doing cloths and shit. They're throwing them over the puddles. I'm like, why didn't they just evaporate them with like magic or
Facts.
They
Right.
was funny, dog.
I'm gonna call the mystical master clean and get these motherfuckers straightened out, bro. You know what I say? But
Right, convenience magic, clean and magic. We need Mr. Clean.
facts, bro. Bald headed spells all
They was-
day. Listen,
because they was getting washed.
no,
Right, they
that's a
was
fact.
getting washed. It's clean.
That's a fact. That's
They
a
was getting
fact.
washed.
I will say though, that part where she kind of like came out of the gong was one of the scariest points, and we're gonna talk about this a little bit too. Just like the horror elements of the film, just how she
Love
came out all disfigured, like it's out of The Grudge. She came out of the TV set and all that stuff like that with the water flowing everywhere. I'm like, that is an insane look, and I'm like, yo, you a villain, girl. Oh my gosh, this is
Yeah, she
some
was,
real
bro.
stuff. It was
I
crazy,
really
man.
love that. Oh, I like never in the entirety of my fandom of the MCU did I think they're gonna make an Avenger a villain, bro. Like,
Oh.
and they did it so well. They did it
Not
so
wrong.
well. And the horror aspect, given like what she's capable of, I too would have been shitting myself if Wanda was chasing me, bro. I would have been shitting
On
myself.
everything. On everything, bro. I'm
Mhm.
like, listen, I'm gonna call her racist before I go. I'll say that. Hope that let's hope that plagues on her mind along with the children. Let's come on, fingers crossed.
I'm
How
dead.
about to say
I'm dead.
murderer and a racist? Ooh, put you in a different class, man. Your father wouldn't be happy dissing marginalized groups like this. Tisk. Oh my god.
Right.
Think about what your
Crazy.
children would think. Oh,
Yeah, no
wait.
facts.
America, open the star, America.
Go,
America,
go,
open
go,
the star.
punch this shit, punch it. Nah, son, nah, man. Well, all right. Getting into this next portion, man. We see basically a big warp into these next dimensions. We see like a whole slew of them. We see like a version of the Living Tribunal. We see some cartoon universes. We see some futuristic ones with the Stark bots and all this shit like that. We see like a version of hell look like the end of Mortal Kombat stage. We end up in Earth was 838. We end up at Earth 838. It's like kind of green, got waterfalls everywhere, all green, you know what I'm saying, nice and lush. A good mix of everything. Seems kind of peaceful. You know what I'm saying? And we get to, you know, this whole little stretch here. We get to the memory scene as well. A little bit of downtime. We see Bruce Campbell as well. Shout out to Bruce Campbell. Already know it's a legend right there. And we get up to the point where we see the Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about this whole stretch of time and where they get, but I think that's a big next chunk that we got to get to. The introduction of the Illuminati, these characters. Before we go any further, I just want to say one thing. Reed Richards. I've been waiting too long for this day. It's messed up, but listen. Just seeing that man's face lit my heart so much. I almost tore my whole little brother's like shirt. Like almost turned into a Yeezy fit. Almost went.
My girlfriend.
Bro. Listen.
And John Krasinski.
John and literally the fan casting John Krasinski.
Yeah, he looked real good as. But we gotta get into it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. But please, everybody, you know, jump in. You know what? Matter of fact, Ninjas, go first. Ninjas, go ahead. Shoot, bro.
Let me go at it first a little bit. Okay, so I love who they chose for Reed. It's great. I love the cast. It looked great. I have to play devil's advocate and say though, I think wholeheartedly for the fact that they only introduced the Illuminati in this capacity just so they won't have to use the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, anything in any stretch of movies for a long time. I want to say that they tried to X them out because but listen to me.
Go ahead.
I because think about how careless I do think they won't do it in the same token, but I feel like they tried to at the same time a little bit because how carelessly they got rid of all those characters and so quickly and efficiently. I do think it's also with the writing too, because how Reed is like, listen, he can blow you away with one word or whatever, and it's saying some obvious shit, like, you know, dumb shit. Like, I feel like they, and then, like, you know, Professor X just going into Wanda to say, don't worry, I'll pull you out. I think I can help you. You just need to climb, like, you know, saying weird shit like that. I feel like the utilization of the characters was so horrible that they were just trying to get them, you know, hey, here y'all go, the Illuminati. All right, we never gonna touch on this again because in that regard, to just the poor utilization, and then we missing so many different characters, like 2 other characters, like Black Panther. Well, I know why Black Panther, but like wasn't there somebody else named Namor?
Namor's tied to that. Namor's directly tied to Black Panther, which I feel like that was the reason why they didn't put those 2 in there. I'm pretty sure Namor was the OG one, and then Black Panther was after, but they're still both inextricably tied together, and I feel like they're gonna show up in Wakanda Forever. I feel like that's gonna be explained in that plot line. And I feel like that's why they wanted to take care before, you know, that big introduction, because they want Namor to have a big thing, because he's a big deal in terms of the Illuminati, in terms of all these different plot lines that come down the line. So him having his first conflict and his first introduction with the Black Panther, that is key. And I feel like that for the MCU's case, they had to keep him out of that. And so it's another version of the Illuminati, but they kind of had to mix and match with some different pieces to make it relevant for the people who have seen MCU stuff so far, but also not give them everything from the OG Illuminati that we know. Like those are the main 6 joints. Those are the main characters that we all know. It gave them a good portion, but didn't give them everybody for certain reasons of plot developments and whatnot. So I understand the casting choice and the picks for the Illuminati. Some of them I'm like, hey, I'm with it though. Of course, Black Bolt, the OG. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to say, what was his name? Blackagon something. Blackagon something. I remember I saw his full name, bro. I was dying. I was like, yo, your name is really Blackagon, my nigga? Like a shape? Like a black shape?
It's not human, because he's
I'm about to say inhuman or something.
Right?
Yeah. For those who don't know, he's an inhuman, which is, they kind of oppose the mutants, in the sense that they're another super step up from humankind. But they require a external factor to acquire their powers called the Terrigen Mist. But the Terrigen Mist is deadly to mutants, so that's why they oppose the mutants. But yeah, just a little backstory. For those
Blackagar Boltagon, which is an insane name, bro. I'm like, yo, your name gotta be Debrickashaw first.
I didn't know that.
Whoever made this character, bro, this is a whole side plot, but y'all knew y'all was doing. Y'all knew it was. They saw all the black names out there. It was like, oh wow, they might as well name a kid like Blackagar or something like that. Oh, we know what we're doing next. I see what y'all on. But yeah, Black Bolt was, of course, Black, dead ass, bro. I see Martino facts. Like, I understand, but Black Bolt, great inclusion again. OG, I'm happy he's in there. Maria Rambeau, you know what I'm saying? That version of, Captain Marvel, which I like. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Black Queen's on my screen. I ain't never mad at that. And again, it's a good variant. Also true. We'll get to that point. We're gonna get to that question. We'll get to that question. We'll get to that.
Thank you, Chip. Yeah.
We gonna get to that question. I promise you. I promise you. But again, having a variant, you know what I'm saying, a variant of Captain Marvel, and showing that, parts of her are still alive. She might be out there in 616 still. So I mean, kind of planting that scene a little bit is cool. And we still have the next the Marvels, the entire Marvels movie with Monica Rambeau and stuff like that. That's coming down the pipeline, so we could see her back in 616 in some fashion, which is cool to see her. Peggy Carter, Captain Britain. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it's like an offshoot of the What If series and how she was in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? Miss Atwell in my life. I thought it was cool in I guess inclusion. It wasn't the greatest for me. I'm like, I don't understand it, but I guess in the sense of, people want to be familiar with characters that they've seen so far in MCU lore and produced shows. I'm like, all right, whatever, that's fine. That's cool. And of course,
that was a good
a good little inclusion. I'm not mad at it. Of course, Reed Richards, which I already done screamed about for about 5-10 minutes. The inclusion was fire. You know what I'm saying? He came in with the little squirt there. Beep, bitch, I got the direct TV remote in my shit. I'm hooked up all in house. That made me smile. And of course, OG Charles Xavier with the whole animated show, the whole rover and stuff, the theme song and all that. OG.
Yeah.
I heard that and I was like, yo, nah, y'all about to make me really tear up in this bitch, bro. This shit crazy. Like, that little cameo was good. That, with the whole classic look and everything, it was pretty dope. And of course, they had Baron Mordo in there too, which I was like, okay, that's
Mordo,
he also drug strains like crazy, bro. Hit him with some PCP in his drink, and I was like, okay, all right. But okay, in general, how do we feel about the entire cast of the Illuminati? You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about that and their interaction with Strange? When I see you side eye. What's going on? How you feel?
Let's go win.
I'm dead. Delete the
I
scene.
w-
Just delete it.
I was not a fan of how they use these characters whatsoever.
Mhm.
It is
Talk
cool,
about
man.
it. Talk about it.
I was like, oh shit, it's Reed Richards. I saw that man stretch maybe twice, maybe at most, at the entirety. When
He stretched.
he stretched when he like walked in front of Wanda, and then when he died, I was like,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So his ability,
Actually-
like I can't think of any other time because he did the little
did
teleporter
it.
thing in. Like I was like, cool. I also just feel like, and maybe I'm again too married to the comics, but like I just feel like Reed Richards would have had a way out of that shit or something. Like
Not
I don't know if I could just-
wrong. Not
I don't
wrong.
know. The
Nah,
motherfucker could have just
I will
teleported his
argue-
bitch. Oh
Nah,
no, I'm
I-
just saying.
Nah.
I want to get into it
Nah.
fully,
I
but
will
not yet.
argue
Not
that
yet.
Wanda
I'm not
used
done,
his
I'm not done.
power.
So like, here's my biggest issue.
Mm.
The Xavier scene could have been way better.
Yes, I would agree.
And the reason I say this is because I think it would have been way more significant to me, or it would have been made way more sense that Charles Xavier, at this point, we're seeing him old, and like of course he's old because he's 81 or whatever, but like, he could have like, I honestly feel like he would have lasted longer in the brain of Wanda, but I think it would have been a way better scene if instead of her beating him with her mind and just killing him in the mind thing or whatever, if she would have tried when he went into her mind, she was just like, oh, you're in the mind of the Wanda body, but not of the person who's dream walking. Like, I'm just gonna walk up and kill you type thing. Like, I feel like that would have been a more significant scene because then it's like, then you can't
That would-
argue like Xavier would have won that fight really if it was the comic book Xavier or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like that would to me
that would have been
more sense.
that would have been a harder twist at that. I personally liked that twist where Charles actually literal twist, no pun intended.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I actually like that, but that could have been a better idea. Again, it's like, yo, he goes in to try and save Wanda. He's like, oh, listen, you gotta stop this. He's like, yo, I'm not the right Wanda, nigga, and turn around, and that's where he gets clapped. That honestly would have been a pretty a better executed part of his demise.
I just want to ask Win. So like, what do you say? Like, so he's talking. So he immediately goes into the mind. He's talking to Wanda that he thinks is the real Wanda, but it's actually Scarlet Witch. Is that what you're saying?
No. He's talking to Wanda and he's trying to get her out of this rubble.
To 838. He's talking to 838 Wanda.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch doesn't show up in the dream and kill him. She's just like, she's like, she's not in control right now. And then like she's behind and like blows him up type thing. That's just like a little nitpicky. So like that's flavor. That's me personally. You could argue that it's wrong, and like I'm not saying that that's how it should be.
Yeah, subjective.
So my only thing with that is like I think that it shows more so that she is being taken over rather than because she is being corrupted and taken over via the Darkhold.
Yeah.
So I think if you're in her mind, like that's the only place you can actually see where both parties are present, where it makes sense rather than, oh, this is the false Wanda or whatever, blah blah, or the 838 Wanda, like, oh, this is the wrong Wanda. Sure, I get it, but I don't think that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. And I know what you mean. Like I'm not fucking married to the idea.
Yeah.
I just thought, well, this is the part that really fucking annoyed the shit out of me to no end. So you're telling me everybody's like, yo, let's all go one-on-one fight Wanda. I'm guessing there was no Scarlet Witch in their universe ever because I just feel like they would know what the fuck is up.
No, but they said they knew.
Yeah.
They knew about her. They knew about her. That's what was crazy to me. Like they knew of her.
I feel like, okay, this is the thing. I feel like it happened at two different points. Okay, listen. Because they killed Thanos before he got all the stones on Titan, I feel like they never would have seen Wanda get to that point where she went through Westview, she went through Killing Vision, she went through any of those things that created her to be the Scarlet Witch. So she didn't fulfill the prophecy yet. I personally think in 838 that did not happen. So it's somebody who wasn't on their radar as much, so they might have overestimated that point. You know, they overestimated, I guess, their position of power over Wanda.
So I also think so it's not blatantly said in that movie or in the scene, but clearly they have perfected the Ultron project. It's perfected.
Yeah.
We don't see who does it. We don't see if it's Reed.
I feel like it's Reed, honestly.
It's probably Reed, but
Yeah.
because there is no Ultron, there's no need for Wanda and her brother to be brought into the Avengers, etc. You
Mm.
don't. She doesn't go through the pain of losing her brother. She doesn't end up joining the Avengers because Ultron doesn't call on her. Um, it's a huge domino effect. So because Ultron was perfected, he never got corrupted. They never had to fight him. She never loses her brother. She doesn't join the
Mm.
Avengers. So like, yeah, they probably know of her,
That's also
but she
also
has no
true.
reason. She has no reason to be
Take the
active
actions that she
in their
does.
circle.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Now, did they? My bad. When I didn't mean to cut you
no,
off.
no, go for it. Go for it.
I was about to ask. Now, I don't remember necessarily how they addressed her in the movie, but did they say Scarlet Witch or did they say Wanda? Because that might be a different indicator.
I believe
if they knew her as the Scarlet Witch.
I believe it was Wanda.
I
No,
feel
I
like.
believe it was just Wanda. I believe it was just Wanda. But then
Okay.
he was telling them
Okay.
about their Scarlet Witch that was coming over, but they were already aware of Wanda. And again, looking at where she was, you know what I'm saying? She's domesticated. She's not doing nothing crazy.
Yeah,
she has her
that's the
kids. She's
crib.
living a
That's the
peaceful
crib.
life. There's nothing that is pushing her to have more dangerous or erratic actions that would go against the Illuminati's guiding hand. You know what I mean?
So
Go ahead, Wen.
and this is again, you know, it's funny that like this had nothing to do with like what the real issue that I had with that part and with that scene. This is my
Yeah.
biggest issue, right? So we all walk off to go fight Scarlet Witch, whether they think she's overpowered or not, whatever the fuck. Here's my issue. So you're telling me your fucking comrade Mordo is standing right next to you, and you, as Charles Xavier, say out loud, "Hey, I think you're a good guy. If you by somehow manage to get out of here, I think you should go ahead with your plan because I think it's a good idea." And then he just walks away. Mordo's like, "Why the fuck? What the fuck? You're telling
Also
me
true.
Charles Xavier, Mr. I can talk to
just
you
read
with the
his
power
In your
of my
mind.
I can talk to you through the power of
I
my
didn't even
mind.
think about that.
Also
I'm gonna
true.
disrespect the fuck out of Mordo and then walk to my death." I thought that shit, again, one of the parts of the movie where I just felt like there was a better way of handling this. He could have easily, it would have been cool as shit if Mordo was just standing there still like, "What's going on? Oh, I stopped. We're talking in our minds right now. I stopped time," or whatever the fuck. That would have been, to me, a way cooler
I agree.
showing of Xavier. And that's what I'm saying. It's like they had these cool characters and they could have did it way better, but all Reed did was, yeah, and fucking Xavier just got fucking mind melted. Like, that's all that
Bruh,
happened with these people.
You're not wrong.
To add to that, if you have a man on trial, wouldn't it make sense to have his mind be checked by the guy
Judged.
who can read minds?
To see it wasn't compromised.
Yeah.
Also true.
All good points.
Also
All good
true.
points.
Again,
I don't know. but
Unserious Illuminati.
I'm not a mind reader.
an unserious Illuminati, bro. That's crazy, bro. Beyonce would have never did this to y'all, bro. That's crazy, dog.
Never.
I'm just
never,
saying.
Never.
I'm just saying, bro.
This is why I argued that they were trying to get rid of these characters, like in any because they like just
You're
think
not
about
wrong.
how they wrote them
It was
in and
rushed.
everything. They,
They-
like, they're just,
Their
it was
implementation, I feel like felt rushed. Ninjas, I agree with you.
I disagree. I disagree.
Oh,
No. I don't disagree that they were rushed in just a haphazard way. So
there was
of
a
course,
go ahead.
So
Yeah.
we all know that, of course, they are introducing multiversal entities, threats, a multiversal expansion of the MCU. We know that. So what, of course, some people who don't read comics understand is that they said the word incursion about 30 times. So what, for those who don't know, an incursion is when two universes collide. So what this means is, but also with the iterations of certain characters, i.e. the Marie Rambeau, the John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, you have Xavier, and you have Mordo there. What that shows is, one, you have people in certain universes who are still the same, but it just gives them freedom, especially with Marie Rambeau. It gives you freedom to use different actors in upcoming works. So
Mhm.
we might get X-Men through an incursion event, meaning they're fighting another universe, and this also means Secret Wars. So this also means that we potentially get Fantastic Four plus a Doctor Doom, because those are necessary in these storylines. So don't get me wrong, I
Right.
understand how
Mhm.
they're just introduced and thrown aside, but there are
Yeah.
deeper implications with them being there.
I
So
agree.
Right.
I
And I
as a Marvel fan and an MCU fan, I'm happy and satisfied the way that it happened.
Yeah,
Personally.
I agree. And this is getting nitpicky. I agree with Wen's point. Wen also said he'd be right back. So hang on one second.
Yeah.
There was also just points in there. Okay, the nerd nigga in me is like, yo, I wish we could do these little nifty things right here, you know what I'm saying, to add a little bit more spice to their inclusion in their cameo. I wish they had a little bit more flair on a couple of things, but at the base core of it, I'm happy with what it was because it did a couple of things. Of course, we'll talk about, you know, how it kind of progressed the story and did that, but the main thing for me is that it introduced the fact of iterative, you know, Illuminatis. It established more of, hey, listen, you're going to see variations of different people. It's not going to be Captain America's, you know, Peggy Carter's, Captain Britain. You're going to see these different parts. And again, the further we get into the film, we talk about the presence of colliding universes and incursions. That is going to be a really big play. And it sets the fact of, even though they got, you know, cooked three different ways by Wanda in the, you know, in the next few minutes of the movie, it doesn't completely, you know, kill off their entire cameo in a future MCU project, which is fine by me. You know what I'm saying? That's fine by me because I understand there's going to be a lot more stuff. There's a lot of setup for a lot of different things. With America Chavez still being around, there's so much different talk of multiversal stuff. And Kang is still alive. So
and New Avengers, yes.
Facts. And literally, and New Avengers. New Avengers, Young Avengers. There's literally like so much stuff being in the works. I am very, very optimistic about the way that it's moving forward, despite them getting clipped crazy in the scenes in the scenes that followed. But what I will say is that I agree with Wen in the particular sense on the minute details of how they could have been implemented throughout the scenes, which might have taken up a little bit more time, but I felt it would have been a good inclusion. But at the base level,
we would have sat
there. I know I would have. Listen, put me in there with 5 hours. If you tell me Fantastic Four gonna be in that bitch, I'm gonna be in that bitch. That's just me. And listen,
for 5 hours.
That's fine. That's you. That's you. That's me. And listen, I'm talking about my personal opinion.
For 5 hours.
Listen, that's fine, dog. That's fine. That's okay. I will be at the theater. That's cool. I'll watch it for all of us. Don't worry about it. But I'm just saying, at the base level, it did what it was supposed to do. It introduced the Illuminati, introduced variants of characters in major ways. The Inhumans, Fantastic Four, mutants, you know what I'm saying? Other multiversal variants of characters and completely different characters on a whole broad scope. And it also, I'm about to say, again, confirmed those people. And it also showed off the power of Wanda, you know, as we get to, you know, that first scene. And also, this is another point I was trying to make. The Illuminati, you know, you already know how many times that they fuck up. They mess up because of their own overestimation of certain shit. They fuck up off of either internal struggle or it's just them like completely like ignoring variables for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like their own downfall is them. You know what I'm saying? They bring about a lot of the bullshit that they, you know, that they seek. You know what I'm saying? Or they try to fix something, they try to like make a decision on something, and it ends up fucking up completely. So it makes sense that an overestimation of her powers and a stupid ass, hey, this man could say a whole sentence backwards and he could wreck your shit. You know what I'm saying? Out loud explaining his entire power set to her while she formulates a plan to kill each and every one of them within 5 minutes. I can understand why that was that. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit of a, you know, elementary way to say it out loud, but it makes sense of how they went out. You know what I mean? Like the Illuminati be doing this shit.
Shooter, they said it themselves. Oh, we can handle your Wanda. They said it.
Yeah, your Wanda. They said we can handle your Wanda, and that was the operative word. It's not even Wanda no more, bro. And that's what got them messed up. They didn't even hear him out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ninjas.
I totally agree with y'all. Yeah, I was about to say I totally agree with y'all in the sense that the buzzwords of like incursion, stuff like that, setting up for more films. I do agree with that. I guess I'm being more pessimistic in the regard because how, you know, they use I just don't think they utilize the Illuminati in a great way to like have me convinced that they're going to execute this like further down the line in a good way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it was just like, you know, Multiverse, Illuminati makes sense here more than it actually was like, let's flesh out, you know, this going into like the future. The only reason I really agree with y'all too is because the use of them saying multiple universes. We have versions of your character in our universe, just like you have versions of. So then that's why I say it's possible. Like it's great because now the Fantastic Four can be in the main MCU because of the use of, you know, that being put into like, you know, the works. You know what I'm saying? It could be a Professor X in our shape. We just haven't met them yet. The only reason I kind of fight against that is because of the thought of how are they going to introduce these characters as, you know, the Infinity, like you got to kind of, like I kind of think about it in like if Endgame happened and everything, and X-Men are a part of this whole thing, how would that play into being introduced to us now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Where was y'all niggas?
Like, I'm not just saying, not even just
help.
right.
Where was you when I needed you?
Like, right. I'm just saying, because like, even though it's movies, I can't really argue this point, but like at the same time, the Endgame is such a big, like, Endgame, Infinity War, that was such a big monumental point that's still being referenced to every movie that we're getting now. For if you was to introduce the X-Men, how are they gonna have how are they gonna spin that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, Endgame effective, but
yeah, and I feel like that's good. I see your point. I definitely see your point, but that's where Earth 616 is kind of bare bones in the fact that, you know, comic book 616 has a hella people in there, that, you know, Fantastic Four, X-Men, a hella people just stacked right there. And Earth MCU 616 has to do some work, and I feel like that's where the parts of, you know, possibly the Secret Wars and, you know, other things like, you know, that are coming up,
right,
like the Fantastic Four movie and all stuff like that, are going to set up possibly pulling from other dimensions or pulling from other universes and explaining certain things. And there's a lot of room to go, but I feel like 616 is going to have stuff being pulled into it from other universes. I feel like that's going to be the main driver of how certain things go through.
So do you feel like,
God,
my question then would be, do you guys feel like instead of them putting the X-Men Fantastic Four in our universe, do you think it's only going to be a multiversal thing that they're going to be introduced to us? Because that would make a little bit more sense to me than how they.
This is the thing.
Going forward.
This is the thing. I feel like there can be a way where mutants are in there, but it just introduced kind of differently. I was watching something the other day. They was talking about how, like, about to say, when was going on? Go ahead, Ray.
Just off the top of my head, they could just introduce them as like, we've been underground because we don't trust you guys.
Also
that
true.
could be an easy way to
introduce. Like, we've been.
If y'all don't want to get too deep into the semantics, it's like, hey, we just didn't. We see how you guys reacted to shit, so we didn't want to like fuck up.
Also true.
Because a lot of the time, that's what a lot of X-Men was just like, we're hiding away or whatever the fuck.
Also true. I would kind of want a kind of like a snap, well, yeah, kind of like a snap effect, where it's like, okay, a certain thing, like, you know, you could pull some bullshit from like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Apparently all the big rumors is the High Evolutionary is going to do some stuff, and he is really tweaking with that little, like, you know, theories of human tweaking and DNA tweaking and stuff like that. He could, you know, inadvertently like spawn an X gene, and that just, you know, pulls up on stuff. There could be a way that they can finagle it in the MCU naturally without the sense of multiversal pulls or anything that goes into it. I honestly think the easiest route would be for them to wait a little bit and then kind of go along that Secret Wars route as more incursions are happening or as more things are getting pulled into each other, to say, hey, you know, this thing is now happening, you know, because of these snap events. It could have happened. Or you could get something about Wanda. Wanda's we can you know, spoil this right now. Wanda, I bet money she not dead. She ain't dead from that bullshit. She's not. She is not. I don't think she's dead whatsoever. And I feel like
you're telling me a brick is gonna stop her, but but Marvel couldn't.
Wait. Time out. So let's be honest. Let's be real here. Most of the time, Wanda was fighting back with her powers.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda at the end of we're not there at the end of the pod yet, but
it's fine. Let's skip for a little bit. It's fine.
At the end of the movie, I mean, she could potentially not be dead, but I think she is. It'd be a pretty bad way to kill her, but I think it's a good way to kill her, right? So no. I think it's a great way to kill her, because at the end,
fair.
She kind of understands that she was at fault. Once her fake sons, saw her become the monster that she was, everything clicked for her.
Yeah.
At that moment, she got control of her own body from the Darkhold that was destroyed. So, well, the copy of the Darkhold. Never mind. I'm mixing shit up. So after her son saw her as a monster, she saw herself for what she was and saw how the only two things that she loved viewed her. And then at the end of the movie, she says, I'm not going to allow anybody else to get this power. And then she tears it down, and then we see she does not erect a barrier or anything around herself.
Yeah, nah.
So like we see everything up until the rock closes the little tiny gap. That's all we see. So she might throw one up, but at the end we see a huge red light disperse from the rubble. So I
Mhm.
think that they killed her off in a moment of redemption. That's what I think, and
Fair.
I think that's the best way to handle Wanda. Because who's truly gonna
Yeah.
allow
She's the
her to
only.
redeem herself after this?
Mhm.
No one's gonna allow her the chance to even
No, that's
remotely
fair.
redeem herself after the carnage that she has conducted. Like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Only one that
So
did
the
it was
only thing
herself. That kind of gave her a pardon. I mean, that was a prompter for her to,
yes, yes,
drop a whole building
yes,
on herself and shit. But I mean,
yes.
that's
I don't
fair.
know.
I think that's the way to go. Like, once, right? She literally got taken over by a demon, and I don't think
Yeah.
that she would even want to live with herself,
Mhm.
knowing the things that she's done. So I think that she unalived herself, or allowed herself to be unalived. That's just me.
I
And then she
look
ended in a
fair.
moment of redemption. That's the way
You
I
know
look
what?
at
Yeah.
it.
She may
I
be
do see
dead.
your point.
Yeah, I'm
I
about to
do see
say.
the point.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
I was about to say I see his point, and everything. I just want to argue the fact that she's just too. Like, I feel like her death kind of is too, you know, too small. Just crash the bullets on her after all of that. I feel like something or some force would probably play a bigger part in her, like, and keeping her from, unaliving herself. To
So
me,
Mhm.
here's I hear that, but
Mhm.
like, don't get me wrong, she's human though. She's still human. Like,
Yep.
yeah,
physically,
I
she's
do
still a
agree with that.
human. And like, don't get me wrong, we've had worse deaths. We've had Killmonger die in a sunset.
Right?
I mean,
Like,
That is
I don't
true.
think, and
he
Marvel
got stabbed,
routinely
but
kills their
nigga.
villains.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
but
they felt like multiple
They all.
stories, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah. I'm
sun
saying
is
he
what
also
what did
got
him in.
stabbed, my nigga. But you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? It was the beauty of the
sure.
sunset that killed him. Like, come on, bro. The nigga got stabbed in his chest, man.
If we want to be technical, sure, sure,
This
all right.
guy,
Yeah,
man.
I guess it was a
A
stab
freaking
wound to his
Instagram filter killed this
my
nigga, bro. We would
bad,
have been all
my
dead if
bad.
that was the case.
But
Come on,
Marvel
man.
routinely Marvel routinely kills their villains, like, with
Yeah.
no remorse, and has um no concept of like how to keep them prolonged
Yeah.
or
Preservation.
jailed or imprisoned, preserved,
Yeah.
nothing. They kill them off and then they go to the next villain, which is dumb for business and movies, in my opinion. But
So
Right.
what I was gonna say is like I mean, like, is this version of Wanda dead? Sure, but like we could also see like Avengers 2 or whatever the fuck, and they'd be like, we brought her, and it's like Wanda with her kids,
right,
and it's like, oh,
Mhm.
she's
right,
Yeah,
back,
that's
but
what I
it's
was
the
about to
good
s
Wanda because she's a
Yeah,
yeah.
hero.
literally.
yes,
Literally.
and that's another implication
Okay.
of these movies. No one's
Yeah.
ever truly dead, and that's the problem with comics, because no one's ever really dead,
Yeah.
because they build them
Facts.
from another
Yeah.
universe. There's somebody that has the ability to bring somebody back from the dead. No one's ever really dead.
Mhm.
So like,
Yeah.
Wynn's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Just pluck somebody else from another universe and you're fine.
Mhm.
The movie continues. Like, it's so
Yeah.
it's dumb, but it makes sense at the end of the day. So yeah.
Yeah, you made a good point though. So I totally agree with that. Like, I think her character, I feel like the how we seen her character grow, and then the high point of her becoming like the villain that she didn't see herself becoming, and then her kids seeing that monster that she was at that point, and
Hmm.
just accepting that, okay, I went too far, I can't keep doing this. That makes sense to me. And I'm just saying, I just think that would just be like, I don't know. You right. Marvel does really weird shit with their villains and shit, and just killing them off and
They're too
everything with
finicky.
characters not.
I
Yeah.
hate
So
it.
you right. So
I
I
think the
definitely
only
would just leave it.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I
Nah.
think the only antagonist that we've seen live multiple movies is, of course, Thanos, but
Yeah,
like, I want to say
Thanos.
Claw. Thanos and
Claw,
Claw. Like,
Claw. Shout out to Claw. Shout out to Andy Serkis. He the only dude who's still alive right now. I'm pretty sure. Wait, yeah, right. Is he still alive?
Who the fuck
I
is
thought
Wait,
Ultron
Claw?
killed him.
Claw,
Ultron
the
killed
dude
him.
from. I'm about to say one arm. I'm about to say
Oh
Black
yeah.
Panther.
No. He was in Black Panther. I lied. Ultron did not kill that man.
Now
No, I think he
He
died in
got,
Black
Yeah,
Panther.
Ultron busted up his arm. No, did he die? No.
No,
no.
he
Did he
did.
get?
He
No, I
did.
thought he escaped
Michael B.
Killmonger.
Jordan killed
Killmonger.
him.
Yeah, I thought Wait,
Killmonger murked him. Yeah, Killmonger murked him.
that's some
He shot
bullshit.
him. Yeah, he shot him a couple times, I thought.
That's some
Yeah, like when he got off the
fuckery.
plane, when they got to, he's like, "Yo, take me to
Yes.
Wakanda," and he was like, "I bet we have Wakanda," and he was like, "Here's your
Yep, yeah,
Uber
he
He
ticket."
brought
killed
him in a
Claw. Yeah, he
and
killed Claw. That's
he
some
brought him in a
fuckery, you
body
know.
bag.
That's some
Yeah.
fuck. Oh yeah, he did as a gift. You're right. Oh,
As a
that's
token.
some.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's some bull. They keep killing everybody.
I don't
Ah,
understand that. Like, and my thing about Marvel, there's only so many villains that
are notable that you can literally keep around that are main foils to these characters. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, how many people do you have to run through before you get to like to an irrelevant third party character? You know what I'm saying? They can, all of them have potential to be good, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like a nigga that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah, but El Muerto, but
literally, bro,
No, El Muerto, I couldn't wait for that movie to drop, bro. Okay, wait.
No, I don't.
I'm talking shit. I'm talking shit.
Okay, okay, I'm about to say, ain't no way. Ain't no
shit. I'm talking shit.
I figured he was talking shit.
Yeah, I'm about to say the
podcast,
the pod was about to come to a screeching halt.
Damn.
I was about to say, wait a minute.
Man, buddy, y'all ain't messing with that villain.
Bro, put Rey Mysterio in there, nigga. Stop playing with me. Oh my god.
I'm dead.
They was wild.
I'm dead.
Sony, that's another podcast for another day, man.
Yeah.
Sony, get out of here. We're talking about good stuff. Back up.
But Win made a good point. And I guess that also speaks to my problem with the MCU killing their villains. Pull another one from another universe, man. Like it.
Also true. That's the ultimate like Robitussin solution. They got the Robitussin solution, bro. So you sick, Robitussin. Your arm hurt, Robitussin. Broke your finger, Robitussin. I'm about to say.
Pull them from another universe.
Facts.
Man. It's the end.
It's a cure-all. It's a cure-all.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. You know what? And it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But yeah. Pushing it a little bit forward. I do want to drop this little tidbit. When about to say, damn, I done lost her name, but I'm pretty sure the Christine.
Yes.
Christine, yeah. Christine. When she had America and Strange in the little pods, she was like, I'm pretty sure they mentioned and they name dropped the Baxter Foundation. I was like, more Fantastic Four, more Fantastic. I'm like another and just their presence in that universe. And it also got me thinking, like, for future iterations of Earth 616, we haven't seen any. We haven't seen Roxxon. We haven't seen Oscorp. We haven't seen the Baxter Foundation. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody has bought Tony's building. No one has.
You know what I'm saying?
Building yet.
These are all possibilities of stuff that could potentially happen in the MCU. You know what I'm saying? Like Peter looking for work, he might need an internship. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So that's down the line. I'm just glad they name dropped the Baxter. You know, Baxter Foundation. The Baxter building might be coming back and stuff. I'm glad that was name dropped. And you know what I'm saying? They kind of showed again the confirmation of Earth 616 and the variants and stuff. Had some hallmarks, and they move forward. I just want to roast this scene, bro. Let's get to it, man. Wanda walks in the building. She has oil all over her body, coming out the smoke, looking like Carrie and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And she just dusts the entire Illuminati. I just want to roast this scene real quick, bro, because Black Bolt, bro, you got served, bro, quicker than Omarion and whatnot, dog. It's ridiculous. It's the company, all that, bro. Like literally, bro. Somebody from y'all crew came out the side and stole your moves. Like, yo, bro, he stole our moves, bro. That's our shit, dog. Like, dog. Come for the king to get it. Come for the king to get it. Like, bro, it was bad. It was bad. First and foremost, Black Bolt gets his stuff rocked. He gets a self-inflicted wound, bro. Hit him what the before. Matter of fact, backtrack before we even start this, bro. She said, "Hey, yo, Reed, you got a family, dog? You got somebody? You know, you got a wife? Yeah, I got a wife and kids. Cool. Somebody gonna take care of him now.
That was one of the hardest lines.
I said,
that was so hard.
Oh my god, that was that.
Listen. I just love how he white mans. He just like, okay, fair. I'm just gonna work you now. Fair,
bro.
All right,
bro. I will say the one-liners were so Raimi in this movie, but some of them were so good. Some of them are so good. I was like, dog, they talking that talk right now. I love it. And again, the name drop of the family at home, Franklin, and was it? It's Vanessa, Victoria, Valeria. Is it Valeria? Valeria Richards?
Yeah. Yes.
Valeria, I want to say, thank you.
She's smarter than her father, and this man, Franklin King.
Franklin is a god. Franklin's literally a god. So
he's the most powerful being in the Marvel universe.
Powerful. I'm like, and that's when I heard the family. I'm like, yo, you don't want Franklin to pull to the office and whoop your ass, son. You don't want him to take the mental blocks off because he will beat the brakes off you, dog. For real. But again, Illuminati thinking they too smart. First and foremost, Black Bolt gets his stuff melted. He gets his brain, you know what I'm saying? The what mouth? What mouth? Oh, that was ridiculous.
I would have simply shut the fuck up. That's what.
And
I
then this
would've
nigga,
just
this idiot, he panicked, bro. This idiot panicked. He said, "Brow, gone." He's stupid. Listen to Umar, bro. We must stay focused, bro. Think about it, bro. We must stay focused, my brothers. Like, what's going on, bro?
Man.
He literally yelled, let it reverberate off his jaw, and literally blew his own brains out. You know what I'm saying? Like, off the top, gone. Reed Richards tried to do something. He got turned into silly string, like, in 3 seconds. That was tough. And then the rest of them started fighting. I was about to say, the rest of them tried to get into it, and it was a bloodbath, bro. Captain Carter got turned into a 2-part movie. Maria Rambeau got a whole thing crushed on her, which is kind of stupid because isn't Captain Marvel kind of powerful? How did the whole thing get you like that? How did a statue get you? But you know, it could have been whatever. I just understood the point of it to show that, hey, listen, Scarlet Witch is on a different level to all these niggas right now, and they underestimated it. Illuminati underestimation. Wanda's like a psycho killer, and she has the power to do this with a snap of a finger, which is fine. How y'all feel about that scene, Charles?
Well, yeah. So I have a big qualm with Marvel when it comes to their whole like white savior complex,
bro.
Especially when it comes to like Captain whoever, whether it be America or Britain. So you're telling me that these pretty much super soldiers that are stronger than a normal human, but not nearly powerful enough to actually do damage to anybody with real strength or abilities, it's going to, one, hold the hand of Thanos in Captain America, and then 2, go toe to toe with somebody that can move things with their mind. Stop it. Like, please just stop it. Like, it's so irksome because it's like, bro,
I'm not.
And
Go ahead, Wen.
The issue isn't like, the issue's money. That's what the problem is. Is like having Reed Richards fight her would be too expensive.
That's also true.
Go out the window.
You're also not wrong. They blew 5% of their budget on making this nigga disappear and poof at the top of their head.
And they can't have Black Bolt fight her because that motherfucker would win if he was allowed to talk.
Like literally.
So who do we fight? It's like, well, we can't have just 2 people fighting. Like, we can't have her and Captain Marvel fighting for like the whole 10 minutes or whatever. So they're like, we gotta make this prolonged. But I completely agree with you. She was fucking with her. She was letting her play around with that shield. She was like, yo, my man, I can end this right now.
Yeah, facts, bro. It's like, listen, we ain't got all day. All right, cool. I was about to say, cut her shit into a split screen game. That shit crazy. But I just understood. I understood the
split
you know.
Screen.
I understand the point of the scene, but it just felt like, yo, damn, it sucks to see them overestimate so quickly and like shoot themselves in the foot because they do this a lot. Well, not, I wouldn't say a lot, but when they do it, it's catastrophic. It's catastrophic fuck up. And they did a catastrophic fuck up. It's kind of like they condensed a whole Illuminati arc like into like 6 minutes. Like that's pretty much what they did. I wasn't entirely mad at it, but I was like, all right, cool. She died. She's on another level, and she was like destroying them niggas, bro. She left, yo, bro. She left Charles out there. He left his head forward like this, bro. In the Spider-Man 1 position, his head was all forward. Don't tell Harry. All out like that, bro. I'm like, dang, man. Did my niggas greasy. Did him greasy. Did him greasy. But yeah, that was crazy, bro. And you got anything to add about this scene?
So I feel like they should have just paid the extra money for the CGI for Reed to go. Because I would have argued.
I would have.
I want to say. I want to say that Reed he only used his powers once during that movie. He didn't technically use his powers. Wanda used his powers for him and turned that nigga into streets.
Facts.
I feel like that was really what happened there. He only used it once. Honestly, y'all kind of touched on everything. The main thing, I understood that Wanda had to be a threat and the villain here, but I just don't like the utilization of the Illuminati in this fight. Like, especially with, I think somebody pointed out how Captain Britain, whatever her name is, she basically got to fight for so long. I feel like she was, toying with her a little bit, but at the same time, she was doing a little bit too much in that fight for me to actually like. How
entirely too much. entirely too much.
He for what's his name to get taken out with his mouth being closed and everything. Reed getting taken out by just be turned into little confetti. And her to be able to like throw bowls. That was crazy to me. I don't think that was like I just don't know.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying with the Illuminati.
Wanda low key allergic to hands a little bit. Wanda is low key, if you get close enough, she is allergic to hands, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Considering her status,
but
regular
person.
Yeah, she got the serum. She got the serum. You know what I'm saying? I mean that's fair, but you already know you're gonna give the captains like a little bit of credence in these fights, and again, it's practical effects, so they're gonna get a little bit more screen time. You already know how that goes. That's how the cookie crumbles on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
you may.
Listen,
Marvel like that.
I'm saying how it is.
That's it.
I'm just saying how it is, bro. But yeah, that happened, and then what's it called? Miss Rambo was last, and she got dropped by a whole statue and whatnot after they was going at it for like a good little bit.
I feel like she should have got like a hole through her or something. Not a like something crazier than that. I just feel like a statue wasn't going to do her justice to kill her. If everybody else got washed like how they did.
She should have been like stabbed with the statue, or like I got something thrown at her or something like that. Like something a bit more.
They should have switched it. The shield go to her, and the statue should have killed Captain America or Captain Britain.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. But yeah, that scene was gruesome. That was probably one of my top 3 scenes, just for the fact of shock value, because my jaw dropped when everything happened in such quick succession. Like my whole entire theater was like, the first shit happened, and it was like, you could feel the collective breath just just suck up. I'm like, oh shit! It was a good moment. It was honestly a pretty surprising moment.
I think the scene after it was a little bit better, strictly from a suspense moment.
Not wrong.
Like,
not wrong. From the suspense.
When they're running, and then they're looking behind them, like, oh, where'd she go? Coming through the door, and she pops up behind them. God, I was like, oh.
Yeah, nah, she on smoke, bro. She was on smoke. She was on smoke,
bro. That scene there, I audibly like gasped, because like I was like, what the fuck? Because I thought she was gonna blast through the door per usual. And like I'm like, bro, how the fuck did she get there? Like,
facts, bro. Like, we can use this. We can use it as a little side stop. Also, the horror elements and the presence of horror elements in this film was so well done. It was such a refreshing take for the MCU. I absolutely loved it. I'm not one for horror all the time, but especially in this capacity, when you think about all like the potential depths you can get to, Sam Raimi did such a good job with bringing the horror and surprise and just the gruesome action that you can stretch the envelope on the MCU, bring it to life throughout most of the scenes that he possibly could include him in. Honestly, damn near every scene with Wanda, I felt something like a little bit in my chest, like, damn, this bitch really scary, bro. If this shit was coming at you, like again, back to Kamar-Taj, when she's breaking this stuff down, she just like slowly, methodically, like it's like it's like so devastatingly slow. She just picks one person out. She sees faltering. She's like, you. Right. I said, damn. And he knocked over the whole people, and that just set the tone for everything. I'm like, yo, she instills fear everywhere she goes. And to set up that precedent of, yo, she's such a villain that it's not what she says, it's everything that she does, how she walks, it's death everywhere she goes, like no question. You know what I'm saying?
Reasonable.
Was being reasonable before that the mood all changed. How quickly she acts in villainous ways without with the long ass monologues or anything like that. It was pretty much just, hey, listen, I'm speaking from the heart. I'm a mother. I love my kids. That's it. But I feel like that's where a lot of the most relatable and enjoyable villains come from. It's from an emotion that we all can at least ascribe to. It's like, hey, listen, that's some real world shit. Yes. You know what I mean? So with the base of her, again, having that love for her kids and trying to find that and going batshit crazy about it with the corruption of the Darkhold, the horror elements came through so well, and her being a villain came through so well, and that was just a good merger. And this was the perfect place to do it. This was the perfect place to really execute that.
Absolutely.
It was such a breath of fresh air. How y'all feel about the horror elements? I could jump to Wen first. Wen first, how you feel about it?
I liked it. That's one thing that I feel like the Marvel movies kind of do, is like they find movies that they like and they take from it. Like Ragnarok is kind of like a buddy cop film. Like things like that.
Yeah.
Like they find inspiration and shit.
Little pockets.
Yeah, like Sam Raimi, obviously the best director for what they were going for. Kind of like, we want something horror, but we want something lighthearted too, because he made Evil Dead. So it's like, okay, so that's kind of like the what we're going for. It was really cool. Like I enjoyed it, and I think that it worked really well with this Strange specifically, because Doctor Strange, like we said before, isn't the Strange that we know from the comics or whatever. Like that motherfucker wouldn't be scared of this, but this guy's like, yo,
Yeah.
this is just way out of my wheelhouse right now.
The facts.
Where's
And
Wong?
Wong?
there is no Wong.
My boy Wong's tied up, boy. He's
Yeah,
tied up.
but I liked a lot of the horror elements, and it really showed how like it was a darker film too, which I liked. There's times where I felt like it could have been presented a little bit more. Like there are times where like I just felt like the way she was just killing these people, and I understand it's probably just because it was a PG-13 movie, but I felt like it was happening so fast that it kind of lost a lot of its effect. Like even like like that one dude was like crawling away, and she just kind of like evaporated him.
Oh yeah.
Even if they would have like slowed down the process of him killing her, or even just like when she brought those people out of like the rubble behind Wong and was like, oh, like are you gonna let them die? Like if it would have showed more like, I don't want to say more gore, but showed more impact.
Like physical devastation.
Them, like, one by one, like he struggled a little bit,
or like
killing them.
Just show the magic morphing their body or something like that, or like trying to like actually attack him. It just looked like a wave that was over him, and they're like writhing in pain. But I agree with him in that point, to have like some type of thing where like, okay, start to like bend your body out of shape or something like that, and like create an effect of real physical tension. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like the way she was killing some of these motherfuckers, honestly, like shit. If you're just gonna turn me to dust real quick, hey, you know what? I've seen people go worse. Like I've seen even in this movie, worse people go out worse ways. So I was just like,
bro,
especially in the beginning. In the beginning, when we're just seeing her, like it would have set the tone for the rest of the movie if like these people were like in agony kind of thing. That's the only issue that I had, was like I wanted more, but again, they're not trying to do rated R movies right now, or at least not with Doctor Strange, because they need the kids, you know. The kids make the money, they buy the toys, so
stuff like that. And I understand it. It's fair, but they did such a good job to translate as much of the horror elements as possible through the film. And again, we can talk about it. Yeah, 100%. They did the best they could with everything, man. With some of the lighting, some of the tone stuff. When you guys like the throne on the mountain and stuff like that, and like you know, looking at what's it called, Zombie Strange, Undead Strange, bro, Lord of the Dead Strange type shit.
Was
so
cold.
That was so good.
It was cold. It was crazy. We gonna get to it. We gonna get to it in a second. But all right, let's skip forward a little bit beforehand. So we go through this major part. You know, we get to the Book of Ashanti. You know what I'm saying? She pulls up, grabs America, sends them some other ways, like, hey, piss off, peace. And they end up in a post-incursion dimension where everything's been messed up. Everybody's dead. And they end up going to see Sinister Strange, another version that's kind of left in the rubble of his failure in a sense. And there was a great set of scenes up to the point where Doctor Strange of 616 comes back to you know what I'm saying? Comes back to the realm to go face Wanda and stuff. But this entire dynamic with Sinister Strange and 616 Strange, how y'all feel about that scene? How y'all feel about all the stuff that led up to that point? Let's talk about Charles. Let's go, bro. You see him in the mood.
Go ahead. So good, bro. Oh my god, I think I would hope that Win loved that scene, strictly because we see Doctor Strange, like we see Doctor Strange for like who he is at his core, and it is a person who wants to do everything for himself, but it's always out of a place of like, I like particularly love when it comes to like Christine, or if it's like when it comes to the Illuminati, it's I need to protect people because they don't have the ability to do so. So I need to even sacrifice my own soul to do what needs to be done. And when you see the like I guess the juxtaposition between 616 Strange and Sinister Strange, it's like there really isn't juxtaposition, because it's like, bro, this is the same character throughout the MCU.
Just a different progression.
Just a different progression. It's almost like we're seeing his entire story in one moment. And then the fight, I'll let somebody else talk about the fight, but that fight was, I think that was the best scene in the entire movie. Oh my god,
that was my number one scene. That was my number one scene.
That's my number one scene. From like even a technically musical standpoint, the things that they were doing in their arrangements.
Oh, so good.
Oh my god,
so good.
Bro.
So good.
It was so magnificent.
It was so good.
Such a beautiful scene.
It was so good.
I was I was like quiet after that scene because like I was so enthralled with it. I was like, bro, this is cinema. This is peak cinema. Like
Listen,
it was like this is beautiful.
listen. Hey yo,
Like,
the
oh
facial
my
reactions
God.
on the other half of the screen is saying the exact opposite of this shit. I just want to let y'all know
Yes,
right
I
now.
know.
They said
That's
the
what I
facial
said. I
reactions
hope
on this
I
half
hope
is going
this
crazy.
man is not, bro. This man is
So we
not
gonna
easily
split up
pleased.
half and half. Ninjas, go first. Go first. How you feel about that entire scene in in that incursion realm? The fight scene between the two strangers. How you feel about it? Go Ninjas, go.
Y'all, I really like the dialogue between the two strangers. I think that was the best part of that scene, was the dialogue between them. I did not care for the music notes. I liked it.
Oh,
I liked it. I liked the
Target.
music. I liked it in theory, but it was weak for like. I guess I'm associating this strange with the strange and the what if, and the what if strange was going crazy. He had all those abilities, all that knowledge and everything. I'm just going off of that's what I think he was to me. I don't know if that's the actual strange variant that we saw, but that was who he was to me. Even then, he had the book too in his
Yeah, his dark hole. Yeah.
Yep, he did have it,
but he wasn't using it.
But he wasn't using it. You're right. He wasn't using it.
He used it at one point though.
Powerful. Okay, I just feel like he was more powerful than just to be like music notes. Yeah, I feel like it worked. I feel like fans will like, some people will like it, some people don't. I didn't really care for it. I wanted to see like him pull out tentacle arms and a dragon out of his hand and blow fire, and then they go back to back. I would have went for something like that instead of the whole. I didn't really care for it. I liked the creativeness of it with the music notes going back and forth fighting, but how they killed him off and the fight overall just didn't do it for me. The dialogue was good. I really liked that. The "Are you happy?" back and forth. I really liked that. It's just the fight was kind of.
Hey, listen, that's fair. Listen, this is a fair platform. We're gonna give everybody they just do, damn it. All right.
I don't know if I'm the only one who feels like that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm letting y'all down. I feel like a hater.
No, you fine. Listen, no. It don't even matter, bro. It's a movie. It's a movie, bro. It's a movie, bro. It's all good. This nigga Wen right here. Go ahead, Wen. Go ahead, hater. You next then. You next.
Let's go, Wen. Yeah, evil.
So here's
literally.
So here's the thing. I agree with Ninjas. I think that to me, my favorite parts of the movie were the first fight when they were fighting the monster and we were seeing all these different spells Strange had in his possession. I thought that was really cool. It was like a little showcase of stuff. I don't think that the music scene would have been bad except for one detail that kind of set up how not dangerous this fight was. And it's like when he first did the music thing and he threw it at Sinister Strange, and he ate like 7 of them bitches to the chest. And then they started fighting again. That's the biggest issue with me. Is like, he ate 8 of them bitches, and you expect me to sit here and be like, oh, he's going to be scared of another few stands? You know what I'm saying? I think that it could have just been, he could have been stronger than Strange. I don't think that that's like wild to assume. I think he could have just been playing with him because he knew he was outmatched. Because like you see this man, like, obviously this motherfucker's twisted. The reason I wasn't a huge fan of that fight was literally just that effect. Like, I just didn't feel scared because I'm like, this motherfucker just ate 8 of them bitches, like, to the chest. And you're like, I like the whole, like, at the end, plucking the last note to blow it up. Him falling off the thing, I was like, whatever, we're just trying to move forward. The third eye was cool, but I would have preferred a practical effect because I'm not going to hold you. I was at no point thinking, like, hey, that shit's real as fuck. Like, I don't like that. Shit just looked like they literally like took his eye from that scene and just moved it up. Which is probably what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can do that to Vinci right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been better. Like I'm surprised it's not a TikTok filter yet. Like, I'm really surprised it's not. But I think it could have been cool. I think that could have been a little bit more. Like, it would have felt cooler to me if it looked better. But yeah, like that scene was solid. Like I don't hate it. That's the thing. Is like I don't hate anything really about this movie. I think that scene was cool, but it was just certain little certain little details that I see, and I'm just like, he ate them bitches. Like, he ate them bitches, and then the other Strange ate the other bitch. Like, what are we scared of? We're just pushing each other back here. Or like if he would have just dodged 2 of them or like 3 of them, like, whoa. that almost got me.
He dodged a couple of them bitches.
Yeah.
He did. He hit the little Matrix. He hit the little.
Matrix.
He let it lean for a little bit. He let it lean.
Like that was my
that
favorite scene. The scene that really like I was like, oh, this shit is gas. Was the zombie strange? That scene.
we gonna
favorite.
Yeah, we gonna hop to that. I feel that. That was my second favorite scene. But my favorite scene is this one. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna bring it back on this side. Niggas arguing with stuff like that. We're gonna get to it. That I'm fucking with you.
I'm sorry.
Listen,
it just wasn't cool.
I'm not sorry.
That's fair. That's fair. Y'all entitled y'all opinions. Just know that they're wrong. No, I'm playing.
Okay.
No.
It was critically cool. Okay, I'll give y'all that. It was creative.
Listen.
I liked it.
I will say this. Me personally, I really loved it. For a few reasons. For one, I feel like Doctor Strange going against Doctor Strange, they would want to try and outwit each other on that same playing field. I feel like that's just a part of. I feel like that might be a part of like. I feel like this might be a part of different strangers meeting each other. They might want to test each other on the same plane or whatever that they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So they try and redirect their shit, turn it against them, try and be better themselves at their own game in a sense, which is weird, but it kind of makes sense to what, you know, what's being portrayed throughout, you know, what's going on throughout the film and stuff like that. And to some of Doctor Strange's identity. To me, it made sense of why they just kind of kept that fight contained to music. I would have liked it to, you know, go other places, but I understand for the sense of the story, whatever. In the sense of the budget, cool. I personally, since I have a background in music, I love seeing this type of stuff.
Yes.
It just hit me immediately how it kind of switched back and forth and ebbed and flowed from all these dark, all these dark themes that Sinister Stranger's throwing from like the what's it called, the Dark Mountain, the oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember, bro. He was a Kingdom Hearts boss. His name was Chernobog. Like I forgot the name of it, the Dark Mountain or something like that. It was some other shit. He's like a big ass like black dude or a black bat. And he had like wings on a volcano.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, that theme song was there for like a good 5 seconds. Then like it played, and as Sinister Strange attacked, and it kind of ebbed and flowed back to lighter tones. He turned the same weapons against him, made his own different thing, the same motifs and the same like little tunes. Like all these classical hits were being remixed and blended. Danny Elfman is a genius, by the way. That's a whole nother side topic. Danny Elfman is literally top 3 producers of all time when it comes to movies. Top 3 composers like of all time. I'm a you know what I'm saying? It's him. I'm about to say him, John Williams. I'm about to say who's the other one, bro? I forgot the other one.
Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer, yes. And I got Michael Giacchino and Louis Garanson somewhere in that mix right after them. But that's beside the point. Look, like Danny Elfman did so good in just creating this constant ebb and flow and all these classical things like that. Like it felt so good to see. Again, it's it might be the music lover in me or something like that. Like seeing this stuff.
Same.
It might be a mix of different stuff, but I just liked how it blended together. It was really, really cool how it all mixed in that scene. Now, it might not be the most exciting. It might not be the most, superior strange. I'm using everything I absorbed and sucked up over the past 10 years, pause, you know what I'm saying, to fight you with. But I personally felt that it was such a good ebb and flow scene between two strangers trying to prove who's the better one. Somebody with the dark hold, or somebody that has their own wits about them. How do you prove yourself that you're the better version? And I feel like that's something Doctor Strange would do.
And I agree with you on everything. But the fact that motherfucker ate notes through the chest, it didn't
I'm not gonna lie.
I want to feed off a win.
I'm not gonna lie. I have no counter for that. I have no counter for that. I don't know how he ate a good He ate a good 6 to 8. He did. Bro. My boy did the and then kept it going though.
Yes.
He dodged a couple.
He ate a C scale. Yes, we get it.
In fact, but then he redirected some shit. He put it in the bracket. He put it in the scale, face, and then dropped his ass back. He threw some back at him.
That was cool. But when y'all are saying like the stakes were hot, to me they weren't. I was just like, all right, when are we gonna finish this fight?
Nobody said that.
I'm arguing.
I felt that they were. But I got lost in the moment though.
I mean, they were.
I got lost in the moment with the musical stuff.
But like, as far as stakes go, like, it's either you die or you don't. I mean, I think the stakes were pretty clear. Like, I don't think that they were like,
nobody was tying up the notes. I'm taking them notes to the face. I'm walking up to them.
I just want to say, pointing out what you guys were saying about them wanting to just test each other and kind of just be like, who's the better? I just don't think that music notes were it to do. I don't feel like that's what I feel like Doctor Strange is eccentric. He wants to show I'm that guy. I'm him. I'm really him. So to think that the Superior Strange or like the Sinister Strange just thinking like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna throw music notes at you and just I feel like that would have been cool to get it started and then like the music playing with it as they're fighting, like maybe do some slow mo, like different view type joint. But them to use their full abilities going off, I feel like if we did cut off America and kept and like shorten the Illuminati's death scene, like how they died off like that, shorten that a little bit, and then put all the budget to them fighting right there, that would have been so cold with the music and everything cold. But them using their abilities going off like hard, I feel like Doctor Strange didn't have a like outside of the zombie moment. I feel like he didn't have his moment where he just like I'm about to go off. And I feel like that was the moment for him to do that, show off his abilities and stuff. I feel like they did it a little bit in the beginning, but they should have did it right there, like head to head. Like who's better, Strange?
That's
go
fair.
all out.
I can understand that. I can understand that, but also. Yeah, listen, Charles. I'm gonna get to it. Charles, hold on. I'll let you tag. Charles, I'm gonna tag you in. Charles, I promise I'll tag you in. Hold on. I'm gonna tag you in, bro. I promise. Let me come in though. I will say this: Doctor Strange has had a habit of redirecting certain things that come at him in a battle into something eccentric. Automatically, when you were saying what you were saying, I thought of him fighting Thanos and kind of him turning like blasts and meteors to like bubbles and you know what I'm saying, like butterflies and stuff like that, like different things. So I'm like, him dealing with fanatical stuff like musical notes isn't out of his wheelhouse, especially when you're dealing with another Strange and you're redirecting stuff back and forth. But I understand what you want. You wanted like the stakes to be higher and show the full extent of the power that they have in their back pockets. I know what you're saying. I feel like it's more apropos of two Doctor Stranges to fight on the same plane and try and outwit them on in a singular lane of magical warfare. I feel like it's something that they would do. Like, hey yo, I'm the better nigga than you. I'm the better me than you. I'm gonna prove to you in the shit that you started. I'm gonna prove that I'm better than you in this lane. I'm not gonna do anything. I mean, somebody might do something underhanded, but I feel like they would try and go tat for tat until somebody drops in that same lane. You know what I mean? So I understand what you're saying about the power scaling and whatnot, but to, I guess, really bring forward the fact that, hey, listen, this is kind of two sides of the same coin, fight duking it out to show, hey, listen, I'm the better stranger, I'm the better sorcerer here. They kind of do it in a focused way that also shows off the full extent of that visual and audio effect that they try to bring through with the musical stuff. So I feel like it was kind of a mix, a half and half between they wanted to prioritize the music and they wanted to bring that conflict between the two strangers forward. So it's kind of like not one didn't dominate the other. It was kind of equivalent in that sense of how they split up priority in that scene. And now if it was mostly, okay, we wanted to show off Doctor Strange going at it, they would have been like, hey, 70-30 in favor of Doctor Strange's, show off the full extent of their powers in the whole thing, tear up the whole upper mansion, throw some music in there, cool. But I feel like they wanted to add that effect and in Sam Raimi style, you know, he does some wild shit like that and mix that in with the conflict of two strangers. That's what I feel. All right, Charles, tag.
So all right. So also, I think what we have to understand, it wasn't a battle of power. It was a battle of ideology. It was also just a battle of creativity. Like that's what magic is.
But do you think? I'll actually cut you off, Charles. But do you think they were really trying to be? I mean, if it was a battle of creativity, wouldn't you think the spells would have changed throughout that? You know what I'm saying?
What's more creative than music?
Right. I mean, I'm just saying, like, do you think it would just have to be like creativity is a broad type of thing, and I feel like music could have started it off, and you know the notes would have started off, but like you said, like you know, it could have been bubbles, it could have been butterfly, it could have been anything. I feel like it could have been a thing if they really wanted to go there with Strange saying, like, you know, who's gonna be the better Strange? All right, I made music. What are you gonna make? Oh, okay. I'm gonna make this shit turn into water. Okay, I'm just being like simple minded, but you know what I'm saying? Like just take it over the top over more and more.
So, and I counter that by saying, that all happened, and I think when we enter the sanctum, the first thing we see is like some instrument. First thing we see, and then we go upstairs, and the next thing we see is a piano, and then the next thing we see is like a violin. So
also
they
true.
set the tone from jump. They set the tone.
Also
like,
true.
Hot tone from what was going to happen. And in that moment, they used their surroundings to get the advantage on each other.
And not
So like
wrong.
you in the middle of the fight, you see Strange look at the piano, look at the violin, and then at lastly he looks at the harp. So like you see this man literally analyze what's going on in the room, and he's improvising in his own way with spells, like and spells and music. They're both improvising. So I
Right?
think this
I do
scene
agree with
was
you.
yeah. So in like in my mind, this is what makes this scene so good is because if we want to battle creativity, what is more creative than improv music? Because like for me personally, I played trumpet for like 13 years, and I was in
Gang,
jazz band.
gang.
One of the most important things that we learn is improv and the creativity and the just it's not only creativity, but it's like an
A sensation, a
expression of
feeling.
one's own self. Yeah, your feeling, expression of oneself, one's soul, one's experiences. So like when we think about the tones of the music that we're playing, how Sinister Strange, his melodies were more dark. They were like they were longer notes, they were lumberous. Then you have our Strange 616, they're more lighthearted, they're staccato, they're quicker. You see
Mm-hmm.
that juxtaposition in their ideologies, in their souls, in their experiences. It's like, and for me personally, as like someone who technically studied music, that scene is absolutely gorgeous.
Fire.
Like all
Right?
Fire.
because we see their mentalities in the notes and like in the improv. In the I see a piano here, I'm going to use some piano notes. I'm going to like switch it up. So that's why I think that scene is for me personally is the best scene in that movie because we see
Okay.
Doctor Strange be Doctor Strange versus another Doctor Strange in like I don't think they were two separate. I think they're just Doctor Strange on a different timeline. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So like we literally see this man fight amongst himself and like argue his own ideologies when it comes to who Doctor Strange is and what he wants to do. So I think that's the beauty of that scene there. Like, and that's why I think it's the best, bro. It's just so good, man.
Man.
Like
We gonna have to agree to
Yeah,
disagree on. We could be in this bitch all
I was
night
about to
talking
say,
about.
yeah.
bro, we will. We gonna move on.
But yeah, no, listen, it was a scene in the movie. It was
Yes,
there.
yes.
It's not the spark of anything else. But yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
I
It was
I
a
see your
scene.
point. Personally, you know what I'm saying? And ain't no technically, Charles, you did study music for that many years, man. Trumpet gang, we out
Yeah.
this hole. You know what it is. We see you. But yeah, pushing
Yes,
forward,
sir.
after Doctor Strange Earth 616 prevails, he kind of makes his way back. You know what I'm saying? He tries to figure out a way to go through. He summons, goes to the land of the dead and basically possesses his dead body that's back on Earth 616 of Defender Strange and
Fire.
becomes Zombie Strange.
Fire.
In this crazy transition, he's like fighting with all the the souls of the damned and stuff like that as he gets back through, and he's trying to contend with them. He eventually makes an entire cloak out of the souls that were just basically trolls. You know what I'm saying? Pestering his damn life for 5 minutes. He becomes again the Dark Lord Sorcerer Supreme, and he going crazy. He flies over there and he has a final confrontation with Wanda. Wong is alive and he just like dusts one of those servant dudes, which was crazy. Has the whole fight with Wanda and tries to make it crack. And again, he eventually passes the kind of the torch and the knife, so to speak, off to America, and she kind of puts some of that final some of those final straws in. So the fight scene, the final resolution. How do we feel about all that and what went down, bro?
I'm gonna have to walk off. Hold on. So let me just go real quick.
Please talk it.
You do not have that sinister Dark Lord Strange without the scene before it. You don't have that. Why? Because Strange understands who he is at that point, and he's also reminded by Christine. You don't get that scene without the musical fight, bro. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I will
He's
argue
gone.
that you could
He's
have
gone.
definitely still
That's
had
too
that
good,
fight.
bro.
You could have.
It's
I'm
too
not saying.
good.
I said
That
I'm
scene
okay.
was
I'm saying that the fight was good. I'm just saying
Mhm.
it could have been better.
I understand.
It could have been better in a different
I
in a
hear
different
you.
way. I think too. I'm not really too in touch with music like that. With in regards of knowing the instruments, knowing the notes, that and everything. So it
I
didn't
get
really,
that.
do it for me like it would do for you and Trip. But at the same time, I think you would have got to that same outcome if they would have just went spell for spell. Because I would just want to just say like I'm just assuming that this Strange been through it got to all this shit, and then got his power level is like up there, and just to see all those spells and everything that he throws out, he would have got. I think he would have came to that same conclusion after that fight, winning however he won.
I feel I see what you're talking about. Me personally, I thought this, in my opinion, I feel like this was like the dopest translation or one of the dopest translations.
I'm not disagreeing with you that the scene was good though. I feel like it was good. It just didn't do it for me.
Fairsies. But yeah, Wen's like, damn, how do we get back to this? Damn.
I was gonna skip past the music shit because
fair. Hey, listen, they said we don't have time for semantics.
I'm not repeating it.
I understand you, dog. But now, Wen, talk about that zombie shit though.
Death Strange was gas. Death Strange was like literally what I wanted out of my Doctor Strange movie. I was like, this is what I came here to see. Like, this is the level of shit that I wanted to see from a Doctor Strange film, because I felt like a lot of the shit has just up until then, and not specifically, I'm not trying to not anything in particular, but I just kind of felt like we didn't really get to see I guess the darker sides of magic. Like, we saw it with Wanda vaporizing people. Yeah, sure, that's witchcraft, but like it was a creative use of magic, and that's what I really enjoyed. Was like, oh, I can, instead of dream walking into somebody, I can dream walk into my own dead body that was there. Like, boom, that's a big brain play. Using the spirits kind of threw me off, because I was like, I thought them bitches, we were scared of them. Now we can just rope them in. Like, what's going on here? But that's just, I accepted that. It's kind of just like, I was just dark like, magic, fuck it, we're doing it. We out here. Yeah, you know, like dark magic, whatever. Like, I was like, okay, he's using the dark hold. It's cool. Like, this shit is hype. The only thing that kind of fucked it up with me with that scene is I was just like, bro, this man's going crazy right now. And then he's like, yo, America. I'm like, bro, he's like, come on, man, crazy.
You had to bring her back to the plot. Hey, she's still here. Y'all have to remember she's still there.
Yeah, like, oh my
now, hey, I will say this. They tried to set it up as best they could. Remember when they were in the Gap Dimension again, and then Wanda burned up that Book of Ashanti? Yeah. The star, there was like a symbol of a star in there before it blew up. Yeah. So she was a part of it. You know what I'm saying? So it had to be done. You know what I'm saying? But they had to give the Full House Danny Tanner talk to this motherfucker before she came. Oh yeah.
Anywhere you look. I'm not upset about it. It's more so like, man, if this was a regular Doctor Strange film, like if she wasn't in this, John, this would have been the trump card. Like, this would have been the fight. But then we got her hitting her 13-year-old punches or whatever to Wanda. And she was eating multi-dimensional shits or whatever.
But she was getting monged on though. She hit that mong. I said, oh shoot. She was getting it in. Again,
it was cool. I just really, that part was my favorite scene, was when he created like the death cape and shit. Like, that was like nuts. That was where I was like, this is what I paid to come here for. So that was my favorite scene of the whole movie.
Yeah,
bro. It must suck to be like a film student and go see movies, bro.
Dog, it has to be such a pain, man. Especially when you're a fan of certain series as well. So it's like double whammies.
Yeah.
It's not even like that. It's not that I thought the movie was bad. It's just always just, man, you know, it would have been nuts, or you know what I would have did. And I'm pretty sure if I was put in that position, if I showed up on the first day of shooting as the director, I would have got fired. I would have broke down. I would have had a heart attack. I can't. That's a lot of. It's an insane amount of pressure. I promise you. So I was just like, so I can't talk. That's why I don't even really like. I don't speak too much on movies, because like, I like to talk shit, but I know that I can't back that shit up at all. It's like a food critic who can't cook. It's like, I can't do it yet, but like, listen,
I feel that.
It was cool, and I understand, and even then, like, I even understand why he had the pep talk, because at the beginning it's always been Doctor Strange, you can't do everything yourself. You always want to be holding the knife. Like, they kept harping on it, which is also a problem, because they said it way too many fucking times. I got it the first time.
Fair.
But we didn't need 3 of the same chick in different dimensions to tell me, hey, you're always trying to hold the knife. Like, we got it. But it was still like, it still had that scene was still something, because she was ready to die. Like, she was like, yo, just go ahead, kill me. And she's like, no, I believe in you. And she's like, oh, that's where you're different. Like, it was cute. It was awesome. Like, I fucked with it. I just really love Death Strange, and I was like, I could see a whole movie about this motherfucker in a dead body, like, doing dark magic.
Agreed. Ninjas, how you feel about that entire stretch of scene?
I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I do feel like kind of weird about how he just like after he got the little pep talk about like you could do it. You're still in there, just be able to pull the spirits. Like you
Mm.
can control it. You're Doctor Strange, and he's like, you're right, and then just do it. I mean, I felt
You're
like
right.
Hey,
You're
sometimes you need that
like,
reminder that you that nigga, bro. Sometimes, you know.
Yes.
right. It just he
Man.
literally just said, "I'm that nigga. I'm him," and then just kind of did it. I felt like that was just to move the plot along. I liked
He
it.
said,
I'm not gonna
"Bitch,
say.
I'm him."
Good plan.
That's really what it was. Like he just said, "I'm him," and then just pulled it together, made the cape, and just flew off. That's what it was. I did really enjoy it. I did enjoy it though. It was really cool just seeing that. I wish we kind of got a little bit more of that. A little bit with just seeing them fight like that in that form a little bit, but it fit for that
Yeah.
for that section and moving it along. I'm just saying, I'm gonna petition this. America could have just got axed, and then that whole scene could have been a little bit further. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but I get it that they kind of was like, it was just a callback, like, oh, she's still here in this movie. That's more to me. Like, oh, she's still here. Let me just, yeah, this is your time to shine, and then she's like, you're right. And then start doing that CGI stupid ass punch.
Hey,
I'm him
listen.
and you're him too. I am him. We're all him.
I mean, that's literally to say, now you're him. All right, bet. And then just, doing their little shit. And that's what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all feel what I'm like.
No, no,
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I see it.
It was cool. I feel like America just needed more to give her a moment. And then
Yeah, she need more screen time to get in the pressure cooker.
I don't like how she did her power just to punch and then just make the star. I feel like they could have did more work with like, a particle effect or something to like make it look a little bit better.
Yeah, so I guess I'll speak on that if no one knows. That's literally how she manifests her powers. Even in the comics, like it's either like a punch or a kick. It's never like I'm gonna just put my hand out and shoot the portal. It's never
a beam,
that.
yeah.
It's never like a beam. It's always a punch or like some type of physical action. Like always. Always.
There's no like particle effect that come off from her hand as she punches or that. Okay.
No,
that's fair. I know.
Yeah. Like
it changes, I'm sure, with iterations.
Yeah, but like the most consistent iteration is like literally she punches and then she creates the portal. Like that's how she manifests the portal. It's weird, but yeah, that's just how they do it for some very strange reason.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So yeah, don't they take it away from me. I thought that
no, that's fair. That's fair. You didn't know. You didn't know, man. That's fine.
No, like even in terms of like movies, like I think so. I kind of understand it in the sense of the movie, because like don't get me wrong, she can, because we didn't see her do it when she teleported her parents or when Wanda forced her to open a portal. She can do it, but I guess it's muscle memory, so that's why they did it. That's why she always does it. Don't get but I also agree, like in that ending scene, the whole tag in, it was like. I kind of wish like low-key Strange got clapped and then like in a fit of rage she broke out of whatever funk she was in and then beat Wanda ass.
Yeah, literally.
I wish she got stranded. Like,
you know what? That would have been actually a good idea. Like Dark Lord Strange dies. And like she has to like he's like either sent back to his original body and stuff like that after Dreamwalking. He's like, yo, I don't know what happened. We might be stuck here, blah blah blah. It cuts to them and they're doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? And then America like stands up and then she actually throws them hands and gets it cracking. Shows her that whole scene how it came, and then picks up Strange by surprise.
And you want to see
great development.
And what also, like, just to jump off that, if we're all going to play director here, what you could have had, because remember how Strange tells her not to close the portal when she puts their back where her kids are? Punching her, she goes through, obviously she's making dimensions, she opens up the one where Strange is, he steps out, and then she punches him again, or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that you can still have that scene where Zombie Strange is like, don't close the portal, let her kids tell her that she's not their mom, and then we can close the portal.
Facts.
You're not my mom.
Exactly.
Yo, dead ass. Them kids are scared as shit. Them kids are scared as hell, boy.
If we're playing director, right? I wish that there was a human version of Vision in the family.
Yeah. I
Oof,
feel
I
like that was the
would-
assumption.
that
I
would
feel like that
set
was
it
the
up.
assumption,
That would-
but I feel like, yeah, that would have put the tip over the iceberg to be like, yo,
Wanda
have him
would've-
physically there.
Yes, she would have broke. And if a human Vision was there, because she didn't just want kids, she wanted a
Mhm.
family. She
Yeah.
wanted Vision there, and I think they left that crucial part out. Like, don't get me wrong, canonically in the comics, every universe, her kids are created by her. Like, she doesn't
Yeah.
have physical kids ever.
Mhm.
But I think because this is the MCU, you have wiggle room to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So if they had a human Vision there,
I mean,
and
she could have
Wanda-
she could have still did the same thing, like, on purpose though. She could have still manifested it from her energy or something like that without the trauma, induced. They could have just conjured them in agreement. They her and Viz could have just conjured them out of like a certain agreement, like, hey, we want kids. Something that spawned out of her head. And again, the concept of dreams, that 838 Wanda could have still had an idea of what those kids might have looked like from before, from her dreams or something like that, and could have manifested them. So it's a possibility, still possible.
Sure, yeah, right. I think it's more plausible if she has physical kids, like, and
true.
because the whole purpose of 616 Wanda is, I know my kids exist somewhere else.
Yeah,
that
and she
leads
was
me to infer
coming
that
through.
These kids are real. These are physical children. So
True.
that being said, like, it would make more sense is if we had a real Wanda, a real Vision, real children, and we have real motivation to find. Well, she had real motivation in the children, but I think it would have been deeper if Vision was there as well. And then the hurt would have been just as painful, seeing Vision and seeing him disappointed in his Wanda rather than just being scared by the children. So I think that just adds an extra level of depth to her redemption, and seeing that, oh, I fucked up. And then her death and her redemption scene just hit that much harder.
Yeah.
For me. So
I mean, listen, that's fair. I know for me, that whole stretch, I'm like, yeah, this is Strange as that motherfucker, bro. Strange as that motherfucker. That's why I got his socks, bro. Like, he just be doing off the wall mystical shit. That's why he's a master of mystical arts. That's why he does that, bro. He does stuff that motherfuckers just don't be doing. He's different like that. Like, he's quite literally built different. Who take dead bodies and they control the souls of the damned? He just went through and they pestering him and stuff like that. Turn them bitches into a cape, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he choked out a panda or something like that and turned into a mink and just flew to the ops. Who does that? Who does that? A real one. That's who does that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
mean, technically he was dead, so.
Listen. And he came back on them hoes. Did the whole famous Amos, bro. That I bet you won't. All that theme song, bro, came out the casket with the orange suit. Famous.
That would have been crazy.
Like, come on now. What you mean? He was doing all that. But I in general, I thought America's scenes could have been better, but I didn't mind her presence in the film. Honestly, I didn't mind it. I liked the introduction personally. I was like, okay, cool. It is what it is. I feel like to be optimally, like, top of the line with a great performance, she needed to have more screen time and more, I guess, time in the pressure cooker to, like, again, fully explain her scenes, more of her origins than just, oh, I'm just an anomaly of one-on-one in the multiverse. I haven't found anybody else like me. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of, we only have that thought rolling and then the memory of her parents, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I would like to have a little bit more of, like, her travels, more of where she's been. Of course, she's seen a couple of them things. I would have liked a bit more exposition on, her journey to then and when she ended up first meeting Strange. If Defender Strange was the first one she met up with, apparently it wasn't the first, but like, get more of that progression in. I would have liked that. I personally like. Go ahead.
Yeah, she talks about all the universes she's been to. Like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, you have to make sure XYZ. Like, bro, we see none of that. None of it.
Yeah, and I would have at least liked a sit down conversation or to where she can expand on that more. I think, a couple more minutes of roaming 838 streets. You know what I'm saying? Roaming that New York or that town in a dimension 838 would be a cool way to, again, explain more of her story than just have the one memory and then they move forward to the the statue and stuff. But it is what it is. I'm not too mad at it. I'm not too I'm not too pissed off or whatever. Like, it is what it is. I was happy when Wanda was getting her shit rocked, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. That shit made me happy personally, because I'm like, finally, we throwing hands at this motherfucker. This is what we talking about, bro. I'm like, this D's right here at the end of the day. This D's right here to get the job done, man. listen. I like magic and everything, but sometimes niggas need that one time, bro. I personally, for the belligerence of the moment, I did like it. It is what it is. But you know, that whole G.I. Joe ass pep talk, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now you know you're a hero, and knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe head ass, like that moment was whatever. He did the whole like TV wink and everything. Ting! I'm like, come on, man. That was a little bit hokey, but we'll let it slide for the sense of the narrative. And it wrapped up pretty well, man. Like, you know, we got decent resolutions. Wanda, again, she dropped the whole you know, Mount Wondergore statue and throne on herself, but I kind of don't think she's dead, but she could be. You know, there could be a lot of some loose ends to tie. You know, Kamar-Taj is pretty much up and running again. America she's a sorcerer now, so her and Ned might meet up. You know what I'm saying? Her and Ned might get it cracking. I'm about to say.
True.
And then I'm about to say Wong finally gets his bow. He gets some respect out that mug. You know what I'm saying? Finally,
yo, Tripp, whoa,
he finally got his bow.
Whoa, Tripp, you're actually onto something. Holy shit! I just realized that.
Explain.
With America meeting Ned, who is a wizard in training. This also because Spider-Man. Well, Miles Morales,
Young Avenger.
And,
that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing by in and of itself. Young Avengers is one thing because they've been setting up Patriot. They've been setting up like hella people. You know what I'm saying? Like Miss Marvel's also coming. That's like hella people down the line for Young Avengers. That's also another thing.
Yes.
But that is also another plot point I want to get to, and that's the big question that's next. So. Overall, it was a good and wrap up to the story, and of course, the post-credit scene was a couple of different things. The ending was him and his third eye opening, like on no like Hotep Dr. Umar shit. His third eye opened, which showed a couple of different things. How do y'all? But I don't think it's that though. I feel like because Sinister Strange had the third eye, it's just the exposure to the corruption in the Darkhold, which kind of is confusing.
That's what it is. So, but I think so. That's literally what it is. It's the corruption. So what it is, how I look at it, is Doctor Strange accepting his journey, accepting his character flaws. Like it's like having like a embarrassing scar from like maybe I don't know, saving somebody, right?
Yeah.
You may be embarrassed to show the scar, but like there's a good story behind it. And I think that's what the eye represents. It's like, yo, I accept my flaws, I accept what I have to do. I'm not hiding it. I'm proud of what I had to do. And I'm just gonna put it on display for everybody to see. And I think that's more so a character development lesson for Strange rather than any other like plot point or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just like his character coming full circle. So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, I see that. I see that as well. I feel like again, it's literally like his exposure to the Darkhold and like dark magic and stuff like that, but also him wearing it openly is that kind of acceptance of the fact that hey, listen, he's made sacrifice and he's whatever, it's a part of him. It's not what makes him broken. He's a whole person, but he'll just accept whatever comes his way for what it is. So yeah, that's that. What I want to get to in the meat and potatoes of this ending section before we get to all the ratings and stuff is kind of where it leads us to next. You know what I'm saying? Like. So we got one post-credit scene. Well, one major post-credit scene. The other one was just Bruce Campbell, you know what I'm saying, doing his what's it called, Evil Dead impression. And it's stopping after 3 weeks. But what we got in that first post-credit scene was Clea, who was apparently some like major ass witch. Apparently is the niece of Dormammu, which is some family business trouble. Which is niggas about to be pissed about that. You know what I'm saying? So. And she opens up a whole rift and she says, hey, listen, come fix this incursion, bro. We got to do something about this. And then she opens up a rift to the dark dimension and they about to get it cracking over there, which means to leads to a whole lot of crazy business in the first part. And in general, where does this lead us? Where does the events of this movie and the post-credit scene lead us next in the MCU, or where could it lead us? You know what I'm saying? I'll throw it to Wen. What's going on? How do you feel?
So for the MCU, honestly, I'm not really tapped in as much as I used to be. It could really go in a variety of ways. The only things that I'm really looking forward to would be the addition of the X-Men. That's really where I would want to go. For the continuation of Doctor Strange, I personally would love to see because I don't know how many more Doctor Strange movies are going to get. That's my biggest fear. I would love to see the newest run. Well, not the newest, but like it happened in 2016. The reboot, I guess is what you would call it, where he fought this organization of people who were like destroying magic. I would love a movie like that, but then I would also want to see Sorcerer Supreme in his prime. So like, I want to see one of those two. Like I want to see either like him getting to the point that like we're all talking about of like, oh, him doing all the crazy spells and all this stuff, which I feel like is where we're gonna head towards with Klee showing up and her being
Yeah.
like, yo, are you scared or whatever? He's like, never open third
Mm.
eye or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just cheesy, but it is what it is. I was like, whatever. It's funny because I was like, who is she? Like, I was like, who is this woman?
Bro, it
White
did
lady
not
just
clock for
popping
me
up
at
in the
first.
street, cutting out. Yeah,
The
I didn't
facts.
get it. I
I'm
was
like,
who the
I
fuck
had
is
to look
she?
it up.
I'm like, yeah, facts.
I
Random
didn't
white
know.
lady in New York popping up, you know what I'm saying? Ask you to go somewhere. That could have been anybody. That could have been anybody
Yeah.
at first glance. If you didn't know exactly who it was, that could have been anyone. But after seeing what it was, I'm like, and getting the scoop, I'm like, okay, that makes sense why she popped up.
And so for the Marvel universe, I kind of want to, and this may seem weird, but I kind of want to get this multiverse shit out of our system, so we can set up longer
No.
timelines. And I get it. Like the thing is, like I just feel like with the
He said
Multiverse of
never.
Madness, everything is so up in the air that it's really hard for me to like even feel bad for people dying or people leaving or whatever, because I'm just like, well, I don't even know what the fuck's going on right now. And that's why. That's kind of what I want to head to more towards, like a concrete, like, yo, let's get motherfuckers who want to be here for a while. Let's build something
Facts.
out
Facts.
for a long time, you know.
Mhm.
But honestly, this movie kind of made me more excited in a sense, because I never really saw like death and destruction on the scale outside of Infinity War,
Facts.
and that's where I was like, okay, cool. So we're not afraid of doing wild shit. I don't have to wait for a crazy ass setup for us to do wild shit.
Agreed, man. Ninjas, how you feel about the post credit scene and where Multiverse of Madness might take us next?
So did she say that it was an incursion that she needed help with?
Yes.
Yes.
She
What did
she needed help to
Okay.
stop an incursion
Okay, so
or fix an incursion.
I'm actually gonna tie back to the whole eye thing. I don't think the eye was a battle scar. I think the eye. I have a theory that I think the eye was him tapping more so into. Well, the Sinister Strange probably did something to him, like attached himself in a way to him. That's why he got that eye like him. I feel like that's personally something that happened outside of him just having an eye from typing in the dark. I feel like it was like an attachment, and like maybe there might be something played. Like I feel like how they killed him, and I think something happened right when he died. He fell on that thing. He like kind of twitched or something. I can't remember per se, but like
Yeah,
something.
the
I don't
eye
feel like that was.
opened, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that was like more of like a connection, like a tap, like he kind of gave it, passed it on to him, and attached himself to him to go in that part of the his universe. And I think that I feel like in the direction is Strange is gonna have like the Tony effect, where he's gonna be like, we have to do extreme measures to protect everybody. And with that, and that's case, I think he's gonna try and chase those darker spells, do more things that are more out of his moral range, and then he's gonna have to get pulled back. And like if he gets presented in his own film again, I think he's gonna go darker in a way. And that's why he fully embraced y'all. Maybe that might be a glimpse of him like showing us like I've been picking up some shit, but it might not necessarily be good to be stronger. And I feel like that's like what they may be tapping into a little bit. That's what I personally feel about it, with him just going to that. But overall, I do want to see more Doctor Strange. I do kind of agree with Wen after he brought it up with like getting away from the multiverse shit, because now if we keep the multiverse going in a way that is going now, anything can be like, this person died, we can bring him back. This can come up, just I feel like they just kind of flush it out to where I feel like the multiverse need to be, established in a way to where we pull what we need from the multiverse. And now the timelines,
it's kind of set itself.
It kind of sets itself up. We're like, all right, this is the thing, but like this brings character. Because if we keep going, but like, oh yeah, this person is gonna come from the multiverse, like keep doing all that pulling and stuff. I feel like it's gonna take away from the straight line that they need to go into to like kind of get to some of these events like Secret War and stuff like that. So I feel like we need to pull them, get them going, get their stories introduced into to the timelines and everything, and then start progressing towards those points. Because if then it's just gonna be a shoehorn for everything. Be like, this person didn't die. Let's just keep like oh, this person actually let's bring their version out, like two versions. Like I feel like it's gonna just become a more of a ploy. Like, oh yeah, y'all love multiverse. don't you want to see 6 Spider-Mans? You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep doing that type of thing.
Yes, I do.
I do. I'm saying
In
no.
fact,
I was saying that,
do.
and I was like, I was saying that's a bad thing. I do want to see that, but like, it's just gonna be weird. Like, now we're gonna see like, I don't know, just weird shit, and then just gonna be like, okay, you know, I get it. The universe, we can do anything.
Yeah, got you, Charles. How you feel about where we're going next?
So I think this may be the last phase of MCU. Because how does one escalate so much from regular enemies like someone in an iron suit, then you go to cosmic beings? How do you de-escalate from that and successfully? But so in regards to the original question regarding Clea, so of course mentions incursions, dark dimension. So what I think happens is we see another instance of another Illuminati, because in more times than not, the Illuminati are the ones that are aware of the incursions. Specifically in the comics, but she could be aware of it because of her connection to a celestial being, i.e., Dormammu, or we could go deeper and say Mephisto. I mean, that opens up that can of worms.
Yeah.
But I think that this may be the last phase of Marvel, because I don't see how you go from, like I said, small town Iron Man in a suit to cosmic beings, and then come back to street level crime. It can be done, yes, but I don't know how we successfulely de-escalate and make people satisfied with
invest.
street level
Satisfied,
crime.
invested with everything. I see you.
Wouldn't it street level crime at this point?
Wouldn't it just be just the introduction of characters that people love then at that point to keep it going? Because like you still got so many characters they could bring in, and then I just feel like it would just get bigger then. I don't, because like it's just so much that they left untouched. I would feel like for this to be the last phase, or are you saying the last phase in terms of like this the end of this phase and then we're going to the next one? I was gonna make sure.
No, I don't see us having like
phases anymore.
I don't see us having like phases. Like there may be more Marvel movies, but I don't think that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see how you create after maybe Kang the Conqueror, because you kill off so many of your villains. One, you don't have any more storylines to pull from, and I think that's my main qualm with Marvel. They kill off villains,
facts,
therefore destroying storylines. So how do we go from the Mandarin to a Thanos to a Kang the Conqueror, and then we're going to say our next villain is going to be, don't get me wrong, I'll be happy about this, but a Kingpin.
Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, the de-escalation back down to like street level, from like Omega, like, you know what I'm saying, Omega level threats or some shit like that, to like regular like you know what I'm saying, like regular human people, like, you know what I'm saying, albeit, you know.
Right. So like, and the only way I see that working is if we keep the PG-13 model and then actually have people die. Like, we see people get killed, but I don't think that's good for Disney Marvel business, because we have to cater to children still. So I don't like, I want Marvel to be very successful in the movie industry, but I think it's coming to a close, because I don't know how we de-escalate successfully and then keep people satisfied with street level. Like, don't get me wrong, you probably can flesh out more movies with these heroes and villains, or if they actually started doing villain movies, that'd be amazing. Instead of having superhero movies, we start doing villain movies. That would be amazing. I think that would be a good attention grabber, and that would also keep people invested in Marvel and in their movies.
Man.
Did the flip side.
Yeah, man. Let's do a Morbius. Yeah, let's
Let's go, Morbius, El Muerto,
bro.
El Muerto.
I saw that piece of crap. I literally I don't know what possessed me to go watch. I did not pay money. Let's just say I somehow watched it allegedly. I somehow just watched it in the movie theater for free. I don't know what happened. Allegedly, I saw it. was
still haven't
straight
seen Carnage. I still haven't seen
garbanzo
Carnage.
beans, and they
Haven't
had
seen
to edit out the
Carnage either. Or
post-credit
Venom.
scene. It was trash. It was trash.
Yikes.
But that's beside the point. Listen, so I'm about to say, Disney, do whatever y'all got to do, man. Just buy it back. Just buy it back. Don't barter with them anymore. Just pay whatever you need to pay and do what you got to do. When you had a quick point, I think I'm about to say, did you have a quick point on that stuff?
I was gonna say we're gonna get Marvel movies so we fucking can't stand them no more because
Facts.
Marvel just made 4.5 billion in the last year. So
Damn.
we're gonna
milk
get
this.
a phase 17, 20. They're gonna the way we have Star Wars shit is the way we're gonna have Marvel shit moving forward.
Listen,
But that's all I really have to
Star
ask.
Wars. Like,
Please
Don't
do
get
not
me
wish that
started.
upon my franchise.
Ayo,
Please.
ayo,
I'm sorry,
ayo,
bro.
ayo,
That's
ayo.
gonna happen.
Star Wars ain't that bad right now. Don't talk about Star Wars.
Yeah. Let's not disrespect Star Wars right now.
Yeah.
To specify what you're talking about.
I am a Star Wars fanatic.
Yeah.
The only good recent
Okay,
movie is,
the follow-up
Rogue
trilogy.
One.
Yeah. We talking about
Listen,
movies. Yeah, movies. Yeah, movies, whatever. You can have
we're
that.
talking
Yeah,
about
I don't
movies.
care.
Okay.
All right, cool. He's good. We're good. Calm
I
down.
don't know.
Don't wish that-
We just gotta be
Don't
patient.
wish that upon my
Kings,
franchise,
be
please.
patient.
Listen,
Be
no.
patient.
You're right.
Republic may be
Well,
coming.
So they can make Ahsoka Palpatine. Be patient for that. You want me to wait for that?
No.
Is that what you want me to wait for?
You never know. The saga is just turning over. I think they're gonna honestly just to dive into Star Wars. I honestly think they're gonna dive into theatrical. If they can pull out the Old Republic.
Hold on. Wait. This is the wrong podcast. Wait, this is the wrong topic. Hold on. Wait. We gotta say that for another day. Bro. Hold on. Put the lightsabers away, dog. This is the wrong podcast. That was the wrong one. We'll get that another time. I promise you. Sheath it. All right, relax.
I'm just saying. That's all I was pointing out.
Fair. That's fair. I understand. Hold on, wait. Let me get back to the topic. Damn. Hold on. Get some order in the pod. But listen, you already know. Well, all right. I will say where we're going with in terms of Doctor Strange's story. So Klee is introduced, the Dark Dimension's introduced, and Kurt's introduced. So with Doctor Strange, he's about to go insane with the powers, and he's possibly going to have to see Dormammu again because of the family relations. And other major, at least one other major dark being, whether it's Cthulhu, whether it's Mephisto, whether it's somebody, I don't know. But he's going to have to meet somebody majorly situated in the Dark Dimension. Will he let them out? I don't know. Will he meddle with them? I don't know. But I know for sure he will meet at least one other major Dark Dimension character, one other Dark Dimension presence, whether it's Mephisto, whether it's Cthulhu, whether it's whoever you want it to be. I think that's going to be a definite in the next Doctor Strange film for sure. And his connection, his curse as going through the dark hole and kind of becoming that Dark Lord Strange or whatever, that's going to also play into where he senses that stuff in the Dark Dimension. So that's going to be a really, really big play. And Nightmare as well. Shout out to Jason on the chat. Nightmare could be a character as well that makes an appearance. It could be that could be a good shout. I know for a fact that in that next Doctor Strange film that we'll see, we're gonna get one of those type characters. We're gonna get one of those type characters, potentially the big bad, or could be a very major influencer in the path that he takes in the Dark Dimension with Clea. So that's a big thing. 2, with the giant, I guess the looming thing that's on the way with the rest of the MCU, it's so weird. There's so many directions that we can go. We can go the Secret Wars route, but I think that's still very early because we have not established the Fantastic Four, and more importantly, we haven't established Doctor Doom. This is a whole other point for a whole other podcast, so I will not harp on it. You need to do Fantastic Four properly, so you can do Doctor Doom properly, so you can do Secret Wars properly. That's the only thing I have to say on that topic at all. Do not do Secret Wars if you have not done a proper good Doom. Like literally, you can keep it. If you don't, if you already got a good Reed Richards out there, just put John Krasinski somewhere else. Let him do his thing. You know what I'm saying? Do not do that if you don't have the capacity to create a really good Fantastic Four and a really good Doom, or else it's not going to work. That's my spot on that. Now with anything else like Multiverse of War and stuff like that, that's another option. Of course, Kang's looming. I feel like he is going to be the next big threat, and he's going to push the multiversal agenda. But at some point, there has to be a stabilizing force. Whether it's intertwined multiverses, something gets pulled into one direction. I don't know, but Kang he's on the way, and that's a fact that he's on the way. I don't know what capacity he will be. Maybe we'll get more exposition in Quantumania, the next Ant-Man film. Charles, how you feel? What happened?
So you kind of have to have a Fantastic Four to have
to have a Kang in full. You're correct. I mean, again, descendant, like straight descendant. So I'm like, to have both work, I feel like Fantastic Four has to be that next marquee movie that has to be hit hard for any of those storylines to go, full on. But we're only getting versions of Kang right now. We're not getting the whole full blown shebang bang with him. You know what I'm saying? We got we got the old man Kang that died and kind of set off this multiversal chain, and we might get another version. You know what I'm saying? A little hint in Quantumania, but we're not getting the full force of all the different, like the Council of Kangs or anything like that. We're not getting the full brunt of that push and Multiverse of War, and the teams aren't even together right now. So I feel like the next big actual like story arc is still years away. I still think it's like a good 3 to 4 years away before we get anything major in terms of team ups, groups, anything like that. I think that
Groups
as we get closer,
I think groups happening quicker, but
it could. You're not wrong, but I feel like it's still a good way out. I think, in my opinion, 2 to 3 years out before we get any major team ups like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like entire forces, like Young Avengers all fully formed and stuff like that. Like the squad that goes, into a Secret Wars event or something like that, or an incursion event happens like that, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But as we get closer to time, more incursions are going to start to happen. I feel like that's going to be some byproduct of what Doctor Strange does. And that will start to bleed different universes, which will bring on the, the Inhumans. That will bring in, I think, more so the X-Men. That will be the primary thing that it brings in. And maybe a couple of the odds and ends from that end. But it's going to be a lot of stuff that just culminates. And we just need to take our time with it. And I feel like it will, hopefully, my fingers crossed, it ends in a Secret Wars type event where things kind of get merged and then they kind of stabilize. There still hasn't been any room, and I don't think they're going to do anything about any House of M related, like no more mutants kind of like just snap in or out of an existence in Earth 616. I doubt that's going to happen. So they're going to try and go another route, which is fine. I will say this, though. This is something interesting I thought about. Also, the other thing of all of our dreams are other multiversal selves. That was also an interesting thing, which also made me think about what dream sequences did we have and throughout all the MCU so far, which just shows another version of ourselves. That's another topic for another day, but I just thought it was interesting. But this is what I want to harp on. Okay, so America, she has the power of multiversal travel, technically, right? She can open portals, she can do all this stuff. She has access to everything pretty much. She can go wherever she sees as long as she can kind of map it out in her head, and she can kind of pull people from to and fro. I think she will have the ability, and she will be the main transition point for a lot of multiversal characters coming through. Well, at least a good amount of significant ones. My thought process was, okay, this is also another thought from the side. We might need somebody for a Secret Wars to really tie this thing together a little bit. My thing is Spider-Verse. Part 1, Part 2. All right? Spider-Verse is still coming from next year on. And that arc is going to have huge implications to what I don't know. It's going to have a lot more multiversal stuff, a lot more universal travel, blah, blah, blah. But what if, you know what I'm saying? Let's put on the conspiracy cap for a second. What if at some point down the line, we need to pull somebody to help out in the universe, to help out with some type of event, and America just pulls into a dimension that she doesn't know and grabs somebody and pulls that Miles Morales from outside of his dimension or his Earth into Earth 616.
Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes, that Into the Spider-Verse version pulls him into Earth 616. And then that's a new continuity. It could happen.
We did see her go into a cartoon world.
A cartoon? Listen, and who's to say?
That's what I'm saying. We saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I'm just saying,
knocked through. Yeah,
things like that are a possibility. And now you have Doctor Strange, who has seen different multiverses. You've seen the Illuminati, who are again prove that there's different multiversal things existing. America Chavez, that now has again solidified multiversal travel. That's down in the line. You're just missing a couple odds and ends, and then that shows massive scale multiversal movement. You know what I'm saying? That characters can access, and then that's gonna bring on so many different things, like pulling potentially an X-Men character through, pulling an Inhuman through, pulling somebody who's important, pulling the Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse through. You know what I'm saying? Wen's got his food. I'm gonna pull through another multiverse, something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of different things, but I know America is gonna be vitally important to the progression of any multiversal movements from here on out. And Doctor Strange dealing with these incursions will be a big sticking point in anything that's moving forward. So my guess is that it will be a Secret Wars, you know what I'm saying, type of thing, because of Fantastic Four is still coming. It's still in production. I know the director left, you know what I'm saying, bless John Watts, but he left and somebody else might take up the project. But I think that's going to be really, really big. And that might be something that's farther out than we think. But I still hold that again. Doctor Strange and his dealings in the next movie will be vitally important. America Chavez will be important, and what's it called? I just lost a thought. Fantastic Four will be vitally important to where it pops up, because it could be in Earth 616, it could be somewhere else, and they get pulled in. Those three elements are going to be so key to how Marvel moves from here on out in terms of this whole multiversal thing. It's very promising. Yeah. I don't know what to make of the next phase or whatever the hell you want to call it, but this is very exciting for me, because there's a lot of room to grow. There's a lot of stuff to do, and if we get God King Doom, bro, I will actually cry. That's all I'm saying, bro. I will stand up and I will stand up, clap, and cry tears of joy, and I will drop kick the nearest kid to try to tell me to sit down, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's the type of time I'm on. Listen, bro. It's different. It's different, bro. But all right, last thing before we get up out of here, the rating out of 10. We must give a formal rating from each person. You know what I'm saying? Just, off the top of the head, Ninjas, I'll go with you first, dog. For your rating of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness out of 10.
7.
7? Okay. 7.5. 7.5. All right. Charles the Sauce, your rating out of 10?
8.5.
8.5. WenEazy.
One second, I'm in between two spots.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 6.5 with an asterisk on.
Get the fuck.
Now we gotta stop for you, bro. Hold on. We gotta stop for you. So what's the asterisk for?
6.5 with the asterisk is because I had a terrible movie experience, and I don't want to put.
How bad was it?
6.5 on the movie, because I just didn't have a good time when I was there. And that's what I feel like it was a 6.5, but I had a bad movie experience. I want to watch it again and give it a fair shot, because I want to say 7, but like I just really like, I left that shit and I was like, man, this is kind of ass. Like I don't think it's a movie. I think it was the experience. So I want to say 6.5 with an asterisk. Like don't take that shit to the bank. And if you quote me on it in like a month or now, I'm gonna deny it if I'm wrong. But 6.5 with an asterisk. Still up in the air. The jury is out.
Were there like babies in your theater or some shit?
Bro, so I had a kid running up and down the steps for the whole first half of the movie. The parent took him out, and they took him out, and it was so great. I was like, this is awesome. And then they brought him the fuck back in, and then the whole family left, and I was like, thank fucking God. I don't know why you're bringing in babies. If the baby isn't old enough to sit down and shut the fuck up, they shouldn't be in here.
Facts.
I personally feel like if you're not 10 years old, you shouldn't be in a fucking PG-13 movie.
Ban them.
Like unless you're like a good ass kid, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody's gonna question you. But if you're running or if you're talking or whatever, like bro, shut that shit the fuck up. Take him to the movie. Take him to the movie at like 3 weeks in or whatever the fuck. When everybody's already seen it, but it's the first week, bro. And I went at a good time. I went at like at 12 o'clock. Like bro, come on. Like this is adults on a Saturday.
You ain't got school. Oh, no,
like,
facts.
No, but I don't understand. But regardless, like, yo, why are you bringing in a kid to this bullshit? Like, there's an eyeball getting pulled out in the first 20 minutes. You tell me this 7-year-old kid is trying to see? Like, I don't know. I had a horrible experience, but I think the movie does deserve a second chance. That's why I'm not like super like negative about it, because I think I think there's some good parts. I think I was just salty and annoyed. That's really where a lot of my anger came from.
That's real.
Yeah, that's understability, man. That's the worst.
And regular movie theaters, and we should just turn karaoke bars into movie theaters where you can just sit with your homies at like a fucking table and eat food and shit, instead of having to fucking sit there with 73 people. Like,
I'll be lit.
Facts. Nah, that's a fact though. I would actually like. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. I would order another kid in the theater to jump him real quick. Like, hey, bro, real quick, hey, let me give you $5. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you $5, bro. Yeah, get him going, bro. Get him going for real. I didn't have, my experience actually pretty good, honestly. We walked in, did our thing, was chilling. The crowd was a little bit tame though for some things, bro. I feel like I was like, and it is cool, but when Reed Richards popped up, I said, Dick. I tried to hold it back as best as possible. I wasn't. I was in there. And it's cool, bro. That's cool. It is what it is, bro. I know me. I literally levitated for like 5 seconds. I said, oh my goodness, bro. Like, and again, I credit to me not watching any trailers past a certain point, past the first one. I credit myself for that because all the surprises and the twists and turns of it made it a lot better. it made it a lot more enjoyable.
One more thing actually that really fucked up the whole experience
Mm.
is the Reed Richards things kind of got spoiled for me because everybody kept saying like, "Oh, I think
Oh,
he
it
just
did?
got casted or whatever the fuck." Like, well, I think I saw a story about it, and I feel like if nobody would have told me this shit, because
I saw
again,
the
I'm not
fan,
tapped
yeah.
into this shit. I saw people saying like blah 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 signed up or like something along the lines of like he's in talks or whatever the fuck. So the Reed Richards thing, I was like, oh, this is cool. I got spoiled the X-Men thing by a fucking TikTok ad, bro.
Oh,
That shit, they caught me lacking, and I'm tight because I don't. You know me. Tripp knows this for a fact. I don't
yeah,
watch more than
yeah,
one trailer for
nothing.
anything.
Nothing.
And they literally, I was scrolling and I was like, is
Hold
that
'em.
Professor X? I thought it was a new show, and then I saw Multiverse of Madness. I'm like, why the fuck would you put that in a commercial?
Yeah, nah, that's crazy. As soon as I hear anything, like I've seen, I was like watching TV on my phone or something like that. I had it on an app, and I'm like, if I hear anything about like Multiverse Man or hear Doctor Strange, I'm like, nope, cut. I mute, do whatever I need to, turn it off, leave the room. Like I was on high alert the entire time for that stuff, bro. I wasn't trying to get spoiled about none of that. Yeah, my fault. I got spoiled for you, bro.
The movie's bad. I just had a bad experience with it.
Yeah. It's tough because you got spoiled over that, man. It's crazy, man. It's wild.
Real tough.
Tough, man. Tough, but
That's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate.
Yeah, man. Yeah, hopefully you get a better experience on the second go around, man. At least it's like, you know, control. Exactly, controlled environment, bro. You be all right. You be all right. But yeah, for me, for my rating, I would say I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8 right now. I feel like I could bump it up in time, but I think 8 is a really good score for it. There was some parts that were pretty hokey, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I really had fun with it. Oh, that's the most important thing for me. I thoroughly like had fun with this film from start to finish. And there was some other rating too. I rated higher than some other projects that came out so far. Like some people was rating this lower than like Eternals and stuff like that. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. Dog, I've seen several people rate it lower than Eternals, like dead last out of a list of like, it was Eternal, Shang-Chi. It was like Eternal, Shang-Chi, Black Widow. What's it called? No Way Home. No Way Home.
Wait, no,
and all that stuff like that.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Correct.
Yes. I seen several people on my timeline rated last out of like the 5 set of Phase 4 movies, bro. And I'm like, you guys are piffing. Bro. There's actually no way. I understand No Way Home. 100% I understand No Way Home. I understand. I can even understand Shang-Chi in a kind of a sense. I'm like, okay, cool. I understand it's not what you're looking for, blah, blah, whatever. But you said Eternals, bro. Eternals and Black Widow. You're piffing. You're high, bro. There's movie with a cameo of Reed Richards and Professor X will be ever rated lower than Eternals, bro. Take that to the bank, bro. Roll that in your blunt and smoke it, please. There's no way.
Jolie.
Give a damn about Angelina Jolie, bro. Give a damn about Evelyn Salt.
Only the last 20
minutes. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is over.
Oh, I'm dead.
It had Angelina Jolie's face. That's all it was. It was a lot of her being like,
literally.
That's
all they talking about, bro.
They said they're doing Tomb Raider again. They need to get her face right.
Hey, yo, no cap. They did. You know what? They did have Salma Hayek in it too. You know what? I understand. We must stay focused. Hold on. Stop. We must stay focused. No. It wasn't better than Multiverse of Madness. It wasn't. I promise. Oh my gosh. My head. But yeah.
We must go back and discuss with my brother.
Facts. So I gotta rewatch the film, see what's going on, cut up all the variables and stuff, see what's happening with it. Oh shoot. But yeah, man, that's yeah, facts, bro. That's pretty much all I had on the notes, man. But yeah, any final thoughts about the movie? Is that a Kxngviii? He's pulling a Kxngviii out. Hold on.
Yes, sir. We third eye always open, bro. You think I'm not woke?
Oh my! And the technical difficulties killed me because one frame he was there and the next frame was cool. Oh my gosh, that's great. That's Consciousness comes before coochie. You know what I'm saying? Let them know. Oh man, but yeah. Hey yo, listen. Final thoughts before we get up out of here. Ninja, since you are our guest of honor, one of our guests of honor, please go first. Your final thoughts on Multiverse of Madness.
Final thoughts. I enjoyed the movie. I just wanted more. I feel like Strange needed more of his moment to me personally. More magic. I just wanted to see more magic. I really think Wanda carried the movie for me, and I in it, and I liked how they marketed the movie and kind of kept her hidden you couldn't really think about who was the real villain there. So I
Facts.
really like that. I think the movie was cool. I liked it.
Solid. Charles Zisos. How you feel about final thoughts?
So I think this is one of Marvel's better movies. I am a Marvel stan, yes, but I can be honest about Marvel. Whereas most of their movies aren't good. I hate the entirety of the Thor series. Iron Man 3 garbage. Captain America's solid series. A lot of their other movies, meh. Eternals, meh. We don't talk about that one with the Black Spider. A lot of there's a lot of meh in the Marvel MCU. But I think this is one of the better MCU films. Just as a work, I think the movie was great. I think the pacing worked. I think we got great character development by um, Strange, Wanda as well. I love the horror aspect. I think this was a great movie, like overall.
For sure. WenEazy, your final thoughts.
I have yet to see a Doctor Strange movie better than the animated one that was made years ago.
Correct.
This one, however, is taking a step in the right direction. Will it fully
Absolutely.
get there? I don't know. But I am excited for what's to come because it seems like we're diving more into Strange himself. So I think if you are a fan of Marvel, this is something you should definitely watch. You should definitely. This one is not one that you want to skip. You can skip a lot of them. I promise. You can skip a lot of these movies and just watch the YouTube video. You'll get the gist. This is one that I think you'll enjoy, even if like you're not a big Marvel fan. Like I don't think it's a bad movie whatsoever. So happy where they're going with this. And I'm happy to say that it wasn't bad.
Fair. Fairsies. My final thoughts is if you can hear the audio version real quick, just that's the sound of me slapping my vein to get it up. Reed Richards. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Don't forget the vein.
Oh man, that's pretty much all I got, man. But not overall, seriously though, really enjoyed the film. Honestly, really breath of fresh air. Give Sam Raimi something else to do, because honestly, I think he brought a real fun spin on the MCU. I really enjoyed it, man. Sam Raimi still got some juice, bro. I'm like, yo, let him hold something. Let him hold something else. If there's anything else he can handle, bro, like maybe a darker project. Listen, Midnight Suns still might be a thing.
Some Blade, Midnight Suns.
That's what I'm telling you, bro. You see Blade is coming. You know what I'm saying? They still gotta go back to London and do their thing over there, bro.
They got Black Knight.
I'm telling you. Like, listen, bro. Give Sam Raimi something to do, bro, because he still got some stuff in his locker, man. I really did appreciate this film a lot, and it was one of the more fun experiences that I've had, like a wow ride from start to finish, man. I really did appreciate it. But yeah, absolutely. That was it, man. That's everything on Multiverse of Madness, man. Now, if you're listening to the audio recording, please make sure you follow the podcast on all audio platforms. You know what I'm saying? Apple Podcasts, Spotify, I'm about to say Stitcher, Anchor. Rate that 5 stars. There's a rating system for it. If you did, create another account and do it again. Do 5 stars again. Do double up on it, man. And before we get out of here, bro, please everybody plug yourselves. First and foremost, I want to say a special thank you to our special guest, man. First time on the on the No Cooldown pod. Ninjas, really do appreciate you for coming through. Please plug your stuff. Please say give us a say farewell message and plug your stuff, please.
I can't even plug myself. I'm not even like these grapes that I'm right next to.
Bro, plug it.
I'm not like them.
Plug it.
I'm not. Listen. Okay.
Plug it right now.
I'm just EMP. I'm everywhere. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, EMP Ninjas. YouTube now. I just released a new video, Lego Stars video. I'm working on the Elden Ring video. I edit. I do everything. I'm a meme Messiah Menace. Go.
Yes, sir.
Love to see it, man. Really do appreciate you for coming through. Facts, bro. I'm telling you, watch this space, bro. Watch EMP. It's different. It's different on this side, man. Of course, one of our, spoiler cast regulars, Charles, this is all Thousand Island. Please, farewell message and plug yourself, please.
Let me see. I am Charles the Sauce everywhere, except Twitter. My Twitter is Charles No Sauce. Fellow member of Growth, we out here, we doing things. We got a lot of great content coming for y'all. Trust me on that, I promise you. But yeah, follow me on everything, and y'all know me. I don't need no introduction, man. Y'all know me.
Talk to him.
Yes,
Talk to him.
sir.
WenEazy, of course, please.
You already know the vibes. One half of Otaku. I got videos coming out tomorrow, stream coming out tomorrow, another podcast on Friday. We really don't sleep on this side, so make sure you guys stay tuned in, set your alarms, drink your coffee or whatever you need to do to stay awake, because content's coming.
I'm telling you, a great man once said, catch up or get left behind. That's what I heard an angry grumpy man said at one point in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to him. No, but for real, man. Listen, there's so much stuff going around. This shout out to shout out to Jay in the chat. This man said white woman could destroy us all, but they're being reasonable. Oh my gosh. Jay, you're a wild man, bro. You're a wild man. But anyways, hey, I appreciate everybody for coming through and listening to the podcast, listening to the video version. If y'all here in the live audience, thank y'all so much for tuning in, lending the ear. We really do appreciate it, man. Every single view, listen, reaction, whatever, man. It goes a long way. We really do appreciate it. We just passed 100 views on the podcast just this week. Gratefully eternally grateful to everybody who's even, listened for a second or, all of our episodes up to this point. There's so much love going around. The next spoiler cast, I don't know what's gonna be. It might be a Thor movie. It might be, what I'm saying, like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of stuff going around. But with that being said, my stuff, ThatManTripp, I don't need to plug my stuff, but Growth, you need to go check out Growth. The channel is on Twitter. It's all for Growth. You know what I'm saying? Go look that up. You're gonna be so much content is coming from the Growth side. You guys do not want to miss it. I'm telling you guys, it's gonna be a ridiculous wave, man. We up on the come up, bro. Y'all beware. Get hip or get left behind. That's all I gotta say. But with that being said, you know what I'm saying? This has been EMP Ninjas. This has been Charles the Sauce. This has been WenEazy, and this has been ThatManTripp. And with that being said, we are out of there.